Good morning, Soldroy here, and welcome back to RoadCraft for what is live stream number 51 as we continue our journey through the Rebuild DLC in RoadCraft. Good morning, I hope your week is going well. We're back today for 3.5 hours as we continue on from, I want to say Tuesday? Tuesday's live stream. I forgot what day of the week it was. From Tuesday's live stream. And on Tuesday, we managed to get more electricity cable laid. We continued to rebuild the area on the Contamination map and actually finished with a decent percentage complete in one stream, which was really good. Today, hopefully, we can continue on that frame of mind, and I'm aiming, hopefully, to finish the second part of the 3-part story to the Contamination map. We've got such a big chunk done in the last stream. I'm hoping we can do a bit better today and get the second part done. But I'm not 100% sure what's left to do. We'll have to have a look as we go in. But I think we should have a good chance based on how much we've done last time. Because I think the reason it's quicker later on in the map is because obviously the infrastructure is already in place. You know, we've built the roads and done all that kind of stuff. So because of that, it's a lot easier. You don't have to spend that time then building more roads because it's already there. You've done the infrastructure side of things, and it does speed up the end side of the map essentially, which is good. But we'll see how much we get done today. I'm just waiting to check sound. Cool. But hopefully we can get a decent chunk done and go from there. Massive thank you to everyone who joined us yesterday for this first stream of the new DLC in Assassin's Creed Mirage. Really enjoyed it. Really hoping to see what else the story has to offer. And obviously it was one of those things that we weren't expecting originally, but now it's there. I think they've done a good job of adding it in. So that'll be back tomorrow morning, and we'll finish off the week for us as well. Obviously, we don't know how long it's going to take. Ghost of Yotai, which was one of the previous votes for next main live stream game, will begin the minute we've finished either that, the DLC in Mirage, or RoadCraft, whichever is sooner. That is the plan. I am struggling a little bit today. My foot is around twice the size it should be, which isn't unusual, but just frustrating because it does limit everything and is a lot more painful than it should be, and things like that. So that is an issue today, so do bear with me if I suddenly get big bouts of pain come through. It does happen. I try and limit it what's shown on the stream, but sometimes I might not be able to avoid it. 89.2 hours inside so far. I still can't find a date for the new update for this coming that's got which is adding in woodworking vehicles essentially. I can't see a date for that. We just know it's coming at some point in the next few weeks, I think, which is a little bit annoying, but we'll see how we go. Hopefully we're still in the game to do so. They have just done an update to that goes live today, I believe, in Mafia the Old Country. It's adding more racing in and a different first person mode, I think it is, and new guns and all that stuff. But my issue is once the story's done, it's done. It's all well and good going back and doing a bit of the driving, but really, I don't know. It's one of those weird ones. So Contamination 68% complete, 17 of 23 infrastructure requests, 23 of 39 main objectives, 19 of 22 side objectives, and we're on the second part of the 3 as we continue on with Purge, which is what the second part is called. Let's load in and see what we're doing first of all today. As I say, I'm hoping we can get a decent chunk done, potentially finish off this middle part of the map, depending on what's needed and how the infrastructure already is looking. As I say, a lot of it is already in place, so it should help us massively going forward. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more Mirage tomorrow. Obviously, RoadCraft is still really enjoyable. I still can't find any information about a roadmap past what they released earlier on in the year, which only went up to September. So there's no new information out there to what they're doing. All I've seen is Expeditions is finishing after its next season, and that's about it. So I can't really find any information out, annoyingly. Okay, so this is what our plan is. There's no side missions. We've got 2 main missions left to do, and I think this is obviously going to finish off the middle part of this map, the second of 3 parts, story-wise. We need to collect steel beams for the water treatment system. This requires us to make 8 beams in total. We've got none in storage, and then take them to 2 different locations. And then we need to transport pumping equipment to several different locations as well. This is the one we're going to start on. So we need to make, first of all, steel beams, and once we've made the steel beams, we need to take them over. Now we have already got a vehicle here that we can use to pick up metal. So that's our first thing, is get as much metal as possible to make steel beams. We need 8 in total. There's lots of blue around over here, and over here actually, in the warehouse. Lots of blue in the warehouse actually. That might be the place to go, to be fair, to get stuff. So we'll jump into our vehicle. This is the Mule Trailblazer, the updated Mule essentially. We've got nearly enough for one beam, but obviously I didn't realize my anchor's still down. I wonder if it's not moving. So we're not nearly enough for one. We need 8 in total, and then we can just pick them up and take them ourselves as well. So nice and simple. We've just got to get metal. So as we saw just now, there is a load of metal over the other bit where the warehouse is. There is stuff here as well, but if we can go for some of the bigger stuff, I think that'd be better. Thank you for the like, very much appreciated. Right, there was some big stuff over here. There's a car over there. I don't know whether we can get the car in or not. May be able to. That'd be a good chunk, hopefully. There's the car there. Some big bits of metal over here, in fact. Let's get the car in and see if we can get this on the back first and foremost. Obviously, it's all about weight, and if this is going to be too much for us to have on the back. I'm hoping it won't be. You can always leave the crane holding onto it if need be as well. I think them damaged containers can also be recycled, but they're going to weigh a lot. But yeah, stars mean to go on. 8 steel beams needed. Hopefully we get these made pretty quickly and get those delivered. I think these final 2 main missions we've got currently on our log, I think they will finish off Purge, the second part of this map. There we go. It's in. It's strapped. Okay, let's get this delivered. Slightly heavy, you can tell on the back how much it's rocking a little bit, but it's not too bad actually. The wheels are a little bit bouncy, but we haven't got far to go. That shouldn't be too bad, hopefully. So, just got to get these beams made. The actual equipment we need to deliver, I think we can do it between the ball and the mule. We should be fine to get it all delivered. I don't think anything's massive. We'll have a proper look in due course. Okay, that's how much will this give us? We've got nearly 1 as it is. What will this give us, I wonder? 3. 5 more needed. So that car was worth 2 and a bit, essentially. I don't think there isn't anything that tells us what things are worth. I'm just going on the basis that the bigger it is, the more it's potentially worth, essentially. That's kind of my thinking. So that was worth 2 and a bit. There are some big chunks of metal over there again as well, so I think we'll try and get those. And see how much they will add up to. That bit there, wasn't it? The big truck that's there, I don't think we can take that. I don't think we've got a hope of getting that in the back or doing anything with that. There is metal in the big yard there that potentially we can get as well. So look at the containers, we can take a container, but I just think it'll be too big. Yeah, we can always chuck things over from the other side, if need be. This is a suspension, I think, rear suspension potentially. There are some drums here as well. Let's get the other suspension that's on this container over here, I think. There it is. It's going to be heavy. If we had a bigger crane nearby, then I probably would do the containers, but I don't think we've got one nearby. Let's grab these as well. So there's 2 trucks there, but again, Although the mule's good, it's not going to be able to take them, I don't think. Another metal drum there. Maybe a case we need to jump into the other crane in the yard there and use that to chuck some stuff out, maybe. Let's have a quick look on the map, zoom in. So yeah, the blue we've got. Are they? There is blue flashing, but it's not the trucks themselves. It's part of the truck, weirdly. But yeah, obviously there is a load of metal here. So let's jump into this crane. No, actually let's not. There is some metal over here first. Let's grab these and see what we're up to, because we may be close to what we need doing that. Rather than jumping in the crane and grabbing this, there is some big bits of metal to the side over there. We come out of here. And then there's all these things that can be sold, the yellow ones. We'll grab these over here, a couple of drums as well. Every little helps at the end of the day. We need 5 more essentially. We'll get these drums in as well. May actually not be close enough for some of those over here. Oh, maybe. Right. I know there's drums there. I want to get the bigger bits if we can first. How will that sit? Not too bad. A little bit concerned about how that was going to sit for a minute though, but it's okay. There we go, this one. As long as it stays on one strap, we don't worry too much about how it's loaded, it's just about it stays on. Bear me a second. That's my little boy. Hopefully he's made it to school and all is good. I had to speak to my boy last night about online safety. So obviously both of us have been playing Pokemon ZA. Really enjoying it. He's slightly ahead of me, but we both finished the main story. I just can't catch Zygarde for anything. But aside from that, there's a YouTuber he watches that plays Pokemon, and he's made this site where you can get the website to generate a Pokemon of your choosing with the moves or version of it, shiny and all that stuff that you want for free. And he made a video on it the other day. My little boy's seen that video and got a Pokemon from it, a shiny version, which obviously you can catch yourself. And for me, because I play things as naturally as possible, doing things like that just isn't in my interest. But also, it's also against their terms and conditions. So I had to talk to him about, yes, it's someone on YouTube is, saying that you can do this in his video and it's his site, and get that. But at the same time, just because someone says you can do it doesn't mean you should do it. And they can't go inside, can they? And what's frustrating for me with that is I think, this video's got thousands of views, and out of all the people that have viewed it, probably most of them have actually gone and done this, which is brilliant until you use it online, and then you get your whole account back. Because there's no warning in the video. So I watched the video to see what was going on with it once he told me. And he's been told not to do it again. And I get, he's at that age, you're impressionable. If you see something on YouTube from someone you've watched for a while and stuff, who says that this is my site. You don't have to log in. There's no information and stuff being exchanged, which obviously is always a concern. Information being shared, but the amount of kids that will go and do it without realising that actually it's bad, and it is against the game's terms and conditions and Nintendo's terms and conditions. And because we know that one of the warnings we had when the Switch 2 came out about them bricking consoles effectively for different reasons, normally for hacking your console normally, but there is still that risk. And he now understands. And I said, look, next time you see something like that and you think you want to do it, talk to me and I'll research it and see, you know, is it okay or is it not okay? But it just annoys me that there's these videos out there that are encouraging kids to do things like that when, you know, where's the fun of doing this yourself? Where's the fun of, you know, finding these Pokemon, catching them yourself, rather than just ordering them for a website? I don't get it. 8 still being made, we can now take them all out, and then we'll go and pick them up from above. But yeah, you know, it's not fully his fault. Admittedly, he should have asked. And we don't really restrict his online access. Admittedly, when he's online, he's in the same room as us, so it's not, you know, we kind of know what he's doing most of the time. And he's also not silly. But it's just frustrating that there are videos people make out there encouraging young, impressionable children to do these things that, you know, as an adult, you know, hang on, that's a little bit odd and shady, and probably is against the terms and conditions of the game itself, which potentially can get your account back. But these videos are out there, and kids will believe it, especially with the promise that you can get any Pokemon you want. Kids are going to go, brilliant. They'll save themselves hours of trying to search for something specific, and actually just do it. It doesn't cost anything, it's all free, which is better than the sites that charge you, obviously. And it is computer generated, so you're not able to get a Pokemon that you can't find in game yourself. They're all, you know, they're not hacked, they're generated, which is a big difference, admittedly. But yeah, I just when he showed me the video, it's just like, I've never said I'm a content creator. I never would call myself that. I don't, you know, I don't see myself as a YouTuber at all. I do this, I stream because, well, it started because obviously the accident, but I stream because I want to enjoy it, and because, you know, it keeps me busy and sane. That's why I do it. And we've said this loads of times. Most of you guys know the reasoning and stuff. But you also, I think, and as I say, I don't call myself a YouTuber in any sense of the word, but at the same time, anyone who creates any kind of content online, I think, has a duty of care. You know, especially when children can view your stuff. And if you're encouraging these things that breaks terms and conditions, that get people's accounts banned, that shouldn't be allowed. That's the thing. I don't know whether it comes under deceptive practice. I don't know. I know there are rules against certain scams and stuff, but this isn't effectively a scam. I'm curious to why, or if Nintendo allow it, and allow this site to stay up. But the amount of different Pokemon games it's got on there makes me think it's been around for a while, which surprises me because Nintendo are quite harsh normally. But I do think you've got a duty of care. Yes, it might be absolutely okay to do. It's a single-player game, effectively, as long as you don't use them for online ranked play. There's no harm to anyone else. So, in that reasoning, it's not that bad. But I don't get it. You know, this day and age when the internet's becoming such a big deal, and we all know that kids are very impressionable, will believe what they see, and we've got AI, you know, making videos of things that can't physically happen, and, you know, we're questioning that. Why then add to that with something that potentially could get a children's account banned? You know, and then the child explains to the parents, well, this YouTuber told me to do it. I don't know if it's just me, maybe I'm being a bit overboard with it. I just find it frustrating that people aren't being the role models they should be. You know, and this guy's got 100,000 subscribers. You know, it's not a small channel that's doing this, and it's his site and everything else. It just frustrates me that there's no responsibility in that regard. That's one of the reasons I would never call myself a content creator. You know, you get these people who go on these TV shows, And when they've asked what they do for a living, I'm a content creator, I'm an influencer. I would never call myself that, in the slightest. You know, if I had the ability, I'll go back to work tomorrow. That's the thing. I think that's probably why I see it slightly differently. Because, you know, I would quite happily stop doing this to go to work. I love streaming, I really do, and it's something I've never thought I'd enjoy doing or expected to do. But at the same time, if I could return to work, I would do, in a heartbeat. So that's why I think it's probably more frustrating for me to see these people with successful channels, admittedly, which isn't a jealousy thing. That doesn't bother me, but there should be more responsibility on the person whose channel it is, and what they're actually encouraging people to do. That's my thinking anyway. I could be completely overboard, and you know, maybe it is absolutely fine to do. I think it doesn't. The thing also comes from me. I play everything quite naturally, as much as possible. You know, we don't look at guides or that kind of stuff. Try to do everything blind and natural. So for me, they're not ordering a Pokemon essentially for a website seems weird, and it's against my nature in that respect. Maybe I'm just a little bit too old-fashioned. Maybe that's the way it goes. That's the way forward now. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm still in two minds. I get why he's done it. I understand his reasoning, but I don't know. It's just weird. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments or in the chat. Is it something you agree with? Should these people with these channels be more aware of what they're saying to young impressionable people and be more careful? Is the onus more on the parents to make sure they're not watching these channels? Maybe, you know, we give him free reign to watch what he wants, but at the same time, obviously we've now encountered this issue, and although I'm not going to restrict him because I think that's wrong, I think he needs to learn, you know, online safety in the real world. But I'm obviously going to be a bit more aware of what he's actually doing. Although I was aware, I just didn't. I was obviously making dinner, I think he said, when he did it. So, you know, I had no control. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned. I don't know. But yeah, it's something I did last night. It was just really weird. And my mum half was a bit. She doesn't really understand it. I don't think as much. I think that's the thing. You know, it was good that it wasn't a hacked Pokemon. That would have been worse, for obvious reasons. And generated is better. Still, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm just being too. I'm being too old-fashioned about it. I don't know. Yeah. It's just massively against my nature as well, I think. That doesn't help. Right, we've done the first delivery of 4. I know I got a bit sidetracked there. Thanks for the like, followers, much appreciated. So we've delivered the first set of 4 over here. We're now going to head through the train yard and up to the machine yard. Now, we could obviously take a shortcut, but we don't have access to it because we haven't built the bridge. We're going to talk about this, but I don't know whether to build the bridge. We've got lots of wood we could go and pick up for wooden bridge. Wooden bridges are annoying. I think we're fine. It will take us a little bit longer to get to the machine yard because we have to go around a little bit. But I don't think it's the end of the world, to be fair. I don't think there's a need to build a bridge as of yet. If obviously we need to head, we know we've got to take equipment there as well. But if we have to keep going back and forth to the machine yard, maybe then we need to do the bridge. For the time being, I think we're fine to go around. And crash into a lamppost as well. But yeah, I'm curious what other people think to that. You know, I suppose it's different if you have kids and don't have kids. I think you have 2 different viewpoints in that perspective. But yeah, I don't know. I just find it frustrating. As I say, in this day and age when there's so much stuff out there that's detrimental, to then add to it, I think there should be more responsibility on the person who's making the content to be fair. But yeah, I could be completely wrong to be fair. Maybe I'm just old. That's the thing. Right, just got to deliver this to the machine yard and this bit's done, and then it's the equipment, and then potentially I think we've finished the middle section, which is the purge. And hopefully we start the final one. Whether we'll get it done today, I don't know. I think we might be close though. 68% was the starting point today. I think there's 6 infrastructure missions several side missions to do, and probably around 13 main, I think it was. Oh, hang on. Where are we going here? Yeah, we have to go right over this small bridge. Keep going round. But I'm unsure where we're going then. So yeah, we might be close to finishing this map today. Whether we'll actually get there, I don't know. To say, it does speed things up, the fact that most of the infrastructure for what we need to do is in place. It just makes things that much easier. I also feel this map's had a lot less convoys than other maps as well. Because that does slow you down when there's convoys and you haven't been that route yourself, or you haven't set things up. And you just, I generally send them out. If the route looks good, I send them out and then we go and solve the problems after. Unless it's something we know is going to be a problem. Right, turn left. I think there's been not as many convoys so far on this map, and I think that's obviously sped things up a little bit. Because convoys do take a lot of time away from other things, or can do anyway. Not necessarily do, but they can. Right. Is that my unloading point there? Can I get on there? I can get on there. We drive round, we can go up here and get on. I could manually... Just manually unload. I don't need to drive on as such. I can just manually unload them into the area, to be fair. Maybe quicker to drive round, but it won't take seconds to unload either. We get nice and close. I don't think I even need anchors on, to be fair. Using crane camera, I can't actually see what I'm doing. But yeah, just got to flip them over. They need to refrain, they can flick over, they'll come across, let go, down we go. There we go, mission complete. Steel beams are there. Okay. See if anything pops up. No. So I believe the final mission for the second part of this, the Great Purge, we now need to organise delivery of pumping equipment. 2 different locations. One is actually where we are now. So the thing with this is they're all over here by the train yard. 2 are going up here to here, and 2 are going down here, I think. Let's have a proper look. So we've got one there is going there. So that one is, if we zoom in, is that one there? I can't see what it is. We might have to jump into here to have a proper look actually. Oh, it's a container. Right. I don't think they fit in the back of the mule. May need to get a different vehicle for this. We've got the bigger one. Unloading potentially could be a problem. Do they fit in the mule? They may fit on the mule actually. They don't look too big. It can be a bit deceiving, that's the thing. Right, so that first one on the right is going to where we are now. This one on the right is also going there. And then we got this one on the left is going there. And this one is going there too. Right, okay. What vehicles have we got nearby? Probably not anything useful, to be fair. I'm curious if they can fit on the mule. Obviously, we can get vehicles from the base over here. Obviously, lack of crane is obviously one thing to think about. I think let's drive the mule back and just see if they fit. Obviously, it can only carry 1 at a time, which obviously will slow us down a little bit because it's 4 journeys. 2 of them are really short journeys, though. It's whether or not they fit in the back of the mule. If they fit in the mule, they'll also fit in the Voron. Because that means we can pick a different vehicle for the second 2 instead of driving all the way back again to go a different way. We might as well just bring one over from the garage. That way. We're doing it. Yeah, it's right. It's because we haven't got this bridge. They're saying that. Oh no, they're over there, aren't they? I'm just trying to see if there's a way to come this way. There is a dirt track here. I wondered if there's a way to get across to get them without going all the way round. There might be actually. This track here, that train can be moved, which opens up this roadway. There's a track running alongside here, but then it closes off. Oh, you better off. It might be just better going the main route, maybe. That one opens up as well. Yeah, I think we're better just following the main route. To be fair, slightly longer, but I think safest option. The aim is to get things done, not to mess around too much. We can avoid it. But our first thing is to see if it fits. If it does, brilliant. If it doesn't, then we'll call over a bigger vehicle. You've got heavy transporter maybe. The only downside of that, obviously, doesn't have a crane. That's the only downside. And I don't know if these will disappear off the back once you're in location. That's the thing. Until we know that, it's a bit tricky. Yeah. Still checking I'm going the right direction on some of the time, that's the thing. So one mission already done today. Sorry, half an hour in, one mission already out of the way. And we had to recycle and make the beams. That's done. I'm excited to see how this map finishes off, because I think we've seen some of the contamination we dealt with. We've drained some of the water away. It's always quite interesting how we leave an area essentially. Okay, we'll go for the far one first. Maybe that bridge would make life easier, but for what we need to do, it's not worth just doing it just for that. Right, let's have a quick look where we need to position ourselves to pick this up. Because the first one we want is there, essentially. There is obviously this here. That needs moving, I think, so we can get into here. For the first one. For the second one, we can bring this over to here, maybe. And that will enable us to get that one. So, if we go round to the left here, so we get to the blue train, and then we can try and nudge that out the way. This one here, there. The thinking was maybe I could nudge it enough just to move it. I don't need it to move too far. I'm in the way. Out of your way. It did move. Not massively. This is why damage not being on is actually helpful. There we go. A little bit more over. There we go. Let's just go alongside it now. Nudge it a little bit that way. There we go. We've got our way in. We can use the big train to unload it onto us. Just to make sure we get the right one, that's the thing. We do want to turn around if we can as well. Oh, actually, we don't need to turn around. Let's move this one out of the way before we've got anything on the back of us. There we go. Because then we can drive out and take a right there. So this is the one on the left here that we need first. Obviously, we don't need to use our crane to grab it. We can use the big frame. Here comes the rain as well. So we'll just double check it is this left one. I'm pretty sure it is. It's the first one. So, machine yard, left one. Perfect. Right, crane. Let's go. We haven't used these cranes massively, so they are a bit fiddly sometimes. I think it's more the view I struggle with these. There's the container. Right, we don't know if these fit. I'm hoping they do, otherwise we need to get the heavy transporter here. I don't think they're going to. I've got no better view either, annoyingly. I don't think it's going to fit. It looks far too big, doesn't it? Yeah, it's too big. Yes, we could put it on. I don't know how well it will go down once it's on, though. Let's put it on the back and just say I think it's going to be far too heavy for a start. Yeah, look at it. I know I'm not. I'm on the back of it. There's no way that's going to carry that, I don't think, without us being silly and tipping over. Yeah, it's too big. Okay. We weren't sure if it would be or not, but now we know. The mule isn't the right vehicle. So, heavy transporter, which is fine to load on. Unloading is the problem. Because we need to have a crane up by the machine yard. Although we can bring one. There is a garage nearby. So that might be doable there. Let's chuck the mule here for a second. Because we've got the garage up here that can bring a crane down here and round. That's doable to unload. Heavy transporter, I don't know where it is. We can recall it to the garage, but I think that's our best bet. Obviously, there's 4 of these, 2 in 2 different locations. That one. Where are you? Oh, you're currently there. Just save me driving it. I know obviously it's not that far away, but I don't know what position it's in. So roadside base, heavy transporter, call it back, we'll drive it down, pick up the 2 from there. Obviously the only annoying thing with this is that we've got to pick up from 2 different places, near to each other, but not easy to get to. That's obviously the only concern. I know we have got 2 different heavy transporters. We have got the other rusty version, but although we could use the rusty version, we have to drive this all the way back from the machine yard. Do it that way. Still need 2 cranes, but why is this really? Seems to be struggling a little bit. This one might just be the conditions. But yeah, so we'll pick up the first one where we just were with the mule, and then we'll try and see how we get to the second one. I think we can use the road that runs alongside, and the big crane at the actual railway station. We can use that to load. And there's 2 containers on, take to the machine yard, and then potentially we swap to the rusty version of this. Go back to the railway yard, grab the other 2, and then bring them back to the port. And we may need a second crane at the port for that, to unload. Unless, we'll know from the first one, it may automatically take them off us. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Or if we can park in the zone, that will count as done, potentially, as well. But we shall see. So, first of all, crane yard. I don't know why this is struggling so much. They're up, there's nothing on the floor, it just seems to be really struggling. That's just me. Once we've picked up the 2 containers from the train yard, it's not that bad to journey. It's just that initial picking them up. That's not a problem, but it's just annoying because of how we've got to get to them. I may have gone the wrong way here, to be fair. I could have gone a different way, I think. It's okay. You go across the bridge here. Kind of turned off the bridge a little bit early there. Right, first one we need. I've lost my bearings. I've gone the wrong way. I should. No, I haven't. We need to go down here for the first one. We'll come back and grab this one. Because we'll come back. Because we're going to the machine yard, it makes sense to pick this one up from here last or second. Yeah, I'm hoping this potentially is the final mission for the second part. So that's far too tight. I think it will be, based on how the mission looks, unless there's something, after we deliver the equipment, there may be something more potentially. But it could just be, it could be the end of the second part as well. So this will get the, because this has all been about getting the water treatment plant ready for treating the contamination. What this has all been about. And after the equipment's delivered, then it's ready to treat the water. So I wonder what we've got to do afterwards. Maybe we've got to help deliver some of the water, potentially, to the treatment plant to be treated. Although this is all pumping equipment, so I don't know. Be interested to see where the story goes. As we've said before, though, it is a little bit frustrating that Kelly's not here to help us, because Kelly would add so much atmosphere to the missions. It does make you feel more part of what's going on when you've got someone talking to you about it. It's just a big shame. Well, I am struggling a little bit with some of the corners here. They're quite tight around this area. Right, we're here though. So first container on the back. Pick the right vehicle up. Okay, we should be able to get both of these on. That is my hope. I think we will. It's a little bit tight, but not too bad. Right. Slightly over. Slightly back. As I say, as long as it straps down, we're all good. I do find it's a little bit tricky to see sometimes where you are with these. There we go. I think that's perfect. I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Can we strap? No. Sometimes because you're under the crane still, it won't allow you to strap. Let's move forward. No, it's because underneath the crane. It does that sometimes. So underneath the crane, it just won't allow you to strap things. So that's too tight again. This is the one issue I have with big long trailers like this, is turning. I do it on SnowRunner as well. It's just I don't allow enough turning circles to get round. I think some of it is lack of understanding of how trailers work, I think, more than anything else for me. Right, that is strapped. We heard the noise. There we go, it is. I hope we can pick the second one up. It's going to be a tight fit. Although we can lower ramps potentially. And then put them back up. Again, not leaving enough turning circles to get round. Do this every time. Okay, for this one we need to go far end, back up, and there's a vehicle coming which is going to be annoying. And we want to go here essentially. Right, we need to be out of the way of this vehicle to come around the corner. He will hit us if he has half a chance. I'm hoping we can do this in one journey to Machine Yard with the second one fitting on as well. There is a gap, but not a massive one. Although if we strap it while the back bits are down, potentially that'll be okay, I think. Right, which way are we going here? I think we want to go to the right here. And then we'll have to come round on ourselves to get back. I think they're the two bits we need there. They're quite small. Probably should have gone into that area maybe. Let's have a look. So this is the crane we can use. I think they're the two bits we need. So the first one is on the back of us. We can ignore that one. The second one is not going there. Oh no, it's these white things. So that's Machine Yard, and that one is the one on the far right. That one there. That's the one we need. Okay. Big crane. What are we? I don't. Oh, I think they're underneath these slabs. Okay, that's not what I was expecting. So I think what we're looking for, we've got to take off the top of these first, and underneath that is what we're after. Which is very different to what I was expecting. And I can't get across. Ah, okay, that's not what I was expecting either. We can't get across to it. I can take this side off, but I can't take the other side. The crane doesn't go far enough. Can I knock it off? I'm just curious if I can knock it off. No. Okay, that's interesting. It is only a small thing we're putting on, so we need to get that top of it off first to be able to access it. So the mule might come in handy here. If we move this out of the way, come into here with the mule, we can then get that off, and then hopefully we can pick it up. It seems so simple, this mission, in terms of what we need to do. Deliver 4 items, two each, to 2 different locations. It was sounded so easy, and then actually getting what you need isn't as simple as the first thing. Okay, don't need a massive amount of room to get through here. I will move it a little bit more to the right. There we go. I think if we get the top off, I think the crane will be able to switch between what we're picking up. But yeah, I'm not sure why the covers are there, to be honest. Oh, okay. I got caught on the edge. Come on. So they're like, is it just a roof maybe? I don't know. There's lots of metal in there for recycling as well. You know where to come if you want metal. Right, my thinking is, I want that. And then I'm hoping the crane will now pick up what's there. I don't even know where I need to put this, to be fair. Let's chuck it over here for a minute. That'll do. Right, Cammy's now swapped to big crane. Wrong one. There we go. And will it now pick it up? Is the first question. No. Right, it still won't pick it up, so I need to move it somewhere else to get it up with the crane, if we want to use the crane to pick it up. Or the mule now puts it on the back of itself. It's driving two vehicles to the location. But that's potentially the other option, is the mule picks it up. I'm just thinking about the other one as well. I think we pick it up with the mule, take it in the mule. Thanks for the like, Ross, that's appreciated. And then the second one, we're going to need to use two vehicles again. One for the bigger container. So this won't pick anything up here. Because the problem we have with this is the hook is the wrong side. If that hook was the other side, we'll pick up fine. So, yeah, I think mule has to pick up this from inside here. We could drop onto loader, admittedly, yeah, that's true. But then if it's already loaded on the mule, there's no point. You might as well just drive the mule. That's the thing. Good morning, how are you, by the way, Jake? Good morning. But yeah, we might as well just drop it on, we might as well take it on the mule if that's the case. Though it's two vehicles, there's no point double handling it. We still need a crane up there to unload the container anyway, I think. So we might as well take the mule. Yeah, but we still need a crane up there. So the mule being there as a crane, we should be able to manage to get the container off. It will be tight, but we should manage to do it. So rather than drive a second crane there to unload, we may as well just drive the mule there. Cross, there we go. Just saves us taking a crane there separately, is my thinking. If we take the mule there first. Because I don't know if it will automatically take the item off the back, or we have to unload it into that area. That's the thing. Sometimes you just take them off you, sometimes you actually need to unload it yourself. If we knew it was going to take it off us itself, then it wouldn't be an issue. We don't know that. I'm doing good. I don't know what I'm doing here, but it's not what I want to be doing. Come on. It's me getting caught up on the track, I think. Keep getting caught up on the track and I can't get off it. There we go. Right. Just need to get the wheels through over the track and then we can go straighter. There we go. Right. Should now be able to reverse. There we go. That's better. It slides when it gets caught. That's the problem there. I know it looked like I was messing up. Probably was. But not as bad as it probably seems. Right. We'll take the mule, as I say, and just see, because I think obviously to unload the container we're going to need something there. If there's a bit more space, we could potentially put the mule on the back of it and do it that way. If there's a bit more space on the back of the transporter. But I don't think there's enough space for the mule to be on the back as well. So if there's already a crane there, it wouldn't be so bad. I'm now thinking about what you just said. I don't know. Mule, we can always get a big crane out. You are right, we could just unload. It just means double handling it, which I try not to do. I never see the point of doing something more than once if we don't need to. But to save 2 different drives, you are right, it would be easier. Have I gone too tight in the corner? I hate corners in this. Trying to give it as much turn as possible. It's going to get caught. Yeah, I'm not allowed enough. Try it again, shall we? I hate this big... I struggle with these massively. It's the physics behind how the turn needs to go, I think, is what I struggle with. Get it as wide as possible. I suppose it might be easier just to get a crane from the garage nearby to come down and use the mule now to load onto this. I think you are right in that respect. Because the mule can stay down here that way. Yeah, I do think you're right, Jake. I think maybe we should do this in one trip, as you say. We unchuck cargo. My mule's in the way, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, it's not actually. You've got plenty of room. What are you about? Plenty of room. Just wanted to beep for the sake of beeping. Okay, it's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze on the back there. It should be doable if we lower the anchors first. Say anchors. I don't think it's anchors ramp, isn't it? Yeah, normally I wouldn't like to, use a crane twice to do the same thing. I find it makes more sense if you don't double hand things, but actually, this probably is the better way. Yeah, I think we'll still need a crane to unload, that's the only other thing. But we have got a garage nearby. And also the mule will struggle to pick up the container. That's the other thing. The container will be a struggle for the mule. There we go. Okay, so now if we stop vehicle, we strap and then bring up the ramp, we are now good to go. But yeah, I think bigger bring crane down would make a difference, I think, as well. It depends, if we go into the zone and it takes them from us automatically, brilliant. Because then we don't need a crane. That's the only thing we're a little bit unsure of. I thought the ramps up on those, they seem to be strong, but there is a bit of weight on the back. Yeah, ramps are up. Feels like we've got low gear on or something. I know there's a bit of weight on the back, and we've always said this lacks the power needed for a heavy transporter. It always seems to struggle when you've got a decent amount of weight on the back. Still, it should be going faster than this, surely. It does feel like low gear's on. Although saying that, we did move the mule earlier, not realising the anchors were on. I wonder why that was going on. Was able to move though. Right, I think we're going right here. Yeah, and follow that road round, so it's left and left. And then we've got one container and one more item to pick up and take, but that's going back to the actual port area. Which for that, the mule probably would be quicker. Quickly take the smaller one there, to be fair. Okay, we'll find out in a second if we need a crane to unload or not. But as I say, I think this may be the last Last main mission for this second part of the map, the Purge, and then we'll see what's next. Okay, this is where we're delivering to. I'm going to try and drive into the unload area first, just to see if it will take them off us automatically. So we're heading into there. I just want to see if it takes them automatically. If it does, we don't need to bring a crane over. All very tight turning here though as well. I want to need a right turn here and a left, and just try and be as tight as possible, I think. It hasn't got the greatest turning circuit in general anyway, but I'm really bad for turning in it. That's a tight turn there. I can knock the fence down, that helps. Don't want this to get caught as we turn. Say that as I catch the front end. Is it going to make it? It is going to make it, perfect. Right, would it take them automatically or do we need to unload ourselves? We are, I think, unstrapped first. I'm probably too close to that lamppost, aren't I? Yeah. Sometimes they will take them themselves, which means we don't need to worry about getting the crane. Sometimes though, they won't. Right, it did. It took them. It's taken them both. Perfect. First two delivered. Okay. The mule can now pick up the smaller one. That's here. And the second one's another big container, isn't it? So we may need to drive that back, or bring something else here to quickly put it in. But that actually makes a big... Actually, no, that's a good shout. The Alcez can do it. If we quickly head back to the garage, we've got a bigger vehicle that I think can go in. But yeah, good advice, Jake. Very good advice. So the Alcez C400 should be able to fit the container in. Rather than bringing back the thing, the heavy transporter. We get this quickly over to where the next one is. We'll put it in the back, because we know it's going to take it automatically. We don't need a crane. But this will take 2 trips. I mean, we could have drove the heavy transporter back, admittedly. But I do like to try and change vehicles whenever we can, so it's an opportunity to use the Alcez. I don't think we've really used much on this map. The lack of crane, that's the problem. With every vehicle, to be fair. Any transport vehicle hasn't got a crane is a pain. Unless, of course, it takes the object off you automatically, then it's fine. But more vehicles have cranes as part of the vehicle themselves, would use them a lot more. That's the thing. A lot of creaking coming from that bridge there. Probably could have gone right, actually. Just realised this guy could have gone there. So, container first, and then we'll use the mule to pick up the smaller one as well. And we're not taking these far, to be fair, so it is a quick load on with the big crane, drive straight there. It's literally up the hill, so it's not far at all. I forgot how nice this was to drive, to be fair, because the lack of crane, we don't use it that often. But it's such a nice vehicle to drive, it's just smooth. Perfect. Okay, jump into the crane. Alright. We don't use this enough to remember all the different things of it. Right. Bring this up. You know, I was saying this fits in the back of it. I don't know if it does. I think it might be closer than I thought. Use it for recycling. Yeah, that makes sense, because all the recycling stuff is automatically taken away, isn't it? That's obviously you need a crane originally though to pick the recycling stuff up. That's the only thing, isn't it? I thought this would go in the back a lot easier than I think it's going to be fair. Yeah, I honestly thought this was bigger than what it is, I think. When it's on, we can drive. Whether we can strap is another question. There we can. Okay, it's on. Luckily, we don't have far to go. We just can't take a corner sharply because we'll be in a bit of trouble if we do. It's probably not the ideal vehicle. I thought it was actually wider than what it actually is for some reason. As I say, we've only got 90, 95, 96 metres to go, so it's not far. But yeah, I like the idea of using the recycling. Like I say, the issue is the crane to put load stuff on though. It's the only thing I find with this. Right, we're heading into there. There is a gate there, we haven't opened it as it stands, so we'll just drive around. It's an outside opening. What we could do with this, actually, open it up ready for the mule. Because we need to push it from the inside to open it, I think. Not that turn, it's the next one. It's still a decent vehicle. It's handling the weight pretty well, considering. We've got other vehicles this kind of weight just would barely move. But it's handling the weight pretty well. I didn't realize there's a gate here as well. Okay, I think this one opens from the outside. I don't think we can open it from this side. No. That's annoying. And the other one I think opens from the other side too. Okay, have we got a scout nearby? No, we haven't, have we? Right, what we'll do, we'll quickly go and pick the other bit up, and then worst comes to worst, potentially you can use the mule to open it. The only thing with mule opening, things like that, it does struggle sometimes to actually get the angle to get the actual connection. But let's worry about that in a second. Let's go and pick up the second one using the mule. I'm just trying to see if we can get there any easier or a different direction. I don't know if we can. Obviously this moves, but that's not really that helpful. I think we're going to drive around. But then yeah, hopefully we can potentially use the crane on the mule to open up the gate, is my thinking. Sometimes though it doesn't grab it, and you need a scout to do so with the winch. We may be able to do it. I didn't see on the map there were two gates. I thought there was only one, to be fair. Right, to get into where we need to get here, we need to go left there. Okay, so in here and then left will get us to where we need to be. Because the actual big crane that's there can't pick this up, because the actual hook of the crane is on the wrong side for this. Annoyingly. I'd say there is meant to be new vehicles coming to the game at some point. I just can't find any information on it. But they're all going to be for wood. That's the only thing. Which I don't think we really need. Unless they're going to add a new map on at some point that has lots of wood-based things to do. Because as it stands, I don't think it's really needed. But who am I to say? Okay, there's the item underneath we need. There we go. And that's the item there we need to pick up. I'm a little bit too far away, really. It should be okay to grab it. I'll just flick it up over this edge. Come on, there you go. Yeah, we're a little too far away, but we still got it in the end. The other crane's a little bit in the way of the view. have found playing this and using cranes a lot more. I do find cranes a little bit easier now to use in SnowRunner because of this. I always struggle with cranes in general in any game, but I think this has been really good practice. Come on, get the job on it. It can be a bit fiddly at times, though, still. Are you there? Cross a bit down. There we go. Right, same place. Hopefully we can use the crane to open up the gate. That's the hope anyway. And then we can get these two delivered and that's the job done and we'll see what's next. Okay. I do like this version of the mule. The only difference between this and the other version of the mule, other than the way it looks, is +1 stability. That's it. Definitely prefer this one though. I think more the look of it is actually as well. Because it is one of our go-to vehicles for lots of jobs. It looks the part now, more so than the first mule. Right, there was a gate here which I don't think I could open. I think it had to come from the other way. Yeah, I think that's opening from the other side. But I'm hoping the crane can pull the other one. Sometimes I just don't seem to connect to it. I've had that before. But no matter what we tried, the crane just wouldn't open the gate. There's not enough room for me to get past, is there? Right, swap vehicle quickly. Just going to get this out of the way. Okay, back to the mule. I think I've reversed enough to get us to swing round. Yeah. We just need to see if the crane will open it. As I say, we've had issues previously, but it won't. We'll go a bit closer. There we go, we got it. Fire that up. There we go. Right, first one to be delivered. First one done. And while we're here, quickly... Are you kidding me? That actually opens on the other side. That does open from the other side. So we could have just driven straight in. I didn't think it did. It looked like it didn't open. That would have made life a little bit quicker then. There we go. We've done it now. Right, drive this one round as well. And that is job done and we'll see what happens next. I think this will be another moment where we notice the lack of Kelly being around. If this is the end of the Purge, as expected. There we go, objective complete. That is the delivery of pumping equipment done. There's a barge now appearing. Okay, maybe it's not the end of the Purge. No, it's not. Wow, it's just given us a load more missions. I thought that would be the end of it, and we'd be doing the last section, but we're not. Still got loads to do. So build a road near the steel mill, which is over here. A lot of our road equipment is nearby. We've actually hang on. No, clear the area of objects. We've already built the road. There's a few trees in the way there. The road is already done though. Clear the trees along the driveway and complete the road construction project. So the road is done, but there's some trees in the way still that need moving by the looks of things. Okay, I'm hoping we don't need to build destroy the road to rebuild it. Hopefully we clearly have the trees in that rectangle, and then it will say done, hopefully. Install the shipped facilities at the prepared locations. So there's some things here to pick up and deliver. One is going to here as part of... Oh, we had to clear the area, didn't we? For these to be put there. So a batch of mobile water treatment facilities has been shipped and unloaded at the port. Your next job is to transport them to prepared sites. Moreover, one location is far from electricity grid. Please deliver a mobile generator from the main power substation there while you're at it. Time is of the essence, let's get moving. So it's because of the lack of power here, we need to deliver a generator there. The second one is going over here. There's two going there. And that's the generator that needs delivering to there. Okay, so I think the other one will need us to put power cables down. Deliver facilities to the river sites, 3 of these as well. One is there to be picked up, and that's going to there. I think we're going to need cranes to unload all these as well. I don't think it'll be as simple as we just did. And a generator there as well. And then construct a power line in the steel mill to clear the area of objects. And then, while working near the steel mill, employees have avoided power issues at the plant. Ensure its electricity supply by clearing more trees in the area and bring resources for power line construction. So while we're clearing these trees that are remaining here, we may as well clear those at the exact same time. Do 2 things at once there. Provide electricity to the water treatment plant as well. So let's have a look at this one. So we need to connect electricity from here. The nearest place is here. And we did say this before, we can travel through the water to do this. We did already know this was possibly something we'd have to do. There is also a plot of route. Now that's not part of a mission currently, but I think maybe we can do this in advance. That route is going from there. Oh no, hang on. This was the route that we have to manually dispatch, wasn't it? I've just not looked at infrastructure in a while. Yeah, we need to keep manually dispatching a vehicle there. Right, well we know what we need to do. The road near the steel mill is first, and we can do 2 missions at once here. If we track this, we need to clear the trees that are here and here. So we'll clear both sets of trees. I'm hoping it recognises that road being there. That's the hope anyway. Now, we can... I don't know if we can just... Instead of chopping the trees down and then keeping the wood to one side and using it, I don't know if we can just grind the whole tree. Because we have that there. Admittedly, we lose wood if we do that, admittedly. Because I'm pretty sure our wood vehicle isn't here anymore. No, we moved it, didn't we? We used it for something else. Do we want to keep the wood, or do we just want to grind the trees away? Is the question. I suppose we can't risk losing the wood, just in case we do need it for something. So we are probably better to actually bring the wood, keep the wood there, and bring the cutter to here maybe. Yeah, I think that's probably our best bet. Let's then call in. Where's our nearest base? Is my only thinking. We've got one down all the way down here. Probably too far away. Probably it's tunnel exit base, isn't it? I suppose. Oh no, maybe not. Maybe from here actually. Maybe there. We just come along through the port and that way. Yeah, I think that's probably our best bet. Do we use the other woodcutter? So we generally only use one woodcutter because it's the better one. The whatchamacallit, the crayfish. But we have said there are others and we haven't really used them. We used this one at the start of the game, but then we haven't really used it since. I do prefer the... no, we'll use crayfish. I prefer the crayfish. I don't think there's another one to buy. I'm pretty sure we've looked at this and there isn't. There's the crayfish there. Grab a load of tree harvest, that's the other one. No, just a crayfish. I think, yeah, we called in the crayfish, we'll use the crayfish. It won't take too long to drive it where we need to go. There is already a stump grinder there anyway to get rid of the stumps. I don't know why I'm trying to change how we normally do things, but there's no reason to be fair. So we'll drive the crane round to where the road is, and we'll take out the other trees up there, and we'll also clear the other area at the same time, grind the stumps, and yeah, fingers crossed it recognises the road. If it does, because that road was part of another mission, but we extended it, didn't we? So the road we originally built, we added an extension onto it at the bottom bit. I'm pretty sure we did anyway. I can't remember now, but I'm sure we did. So I'm hoping it recognises that road, because I really don't want to destroy the road to relay it. But we don't know until we do the trees. It should do. We have done missions before being given the mission before, because we needed to do it to help ourselves out. And it's been fine. So I'm hoping it'll be okay. But yeah, getting to these areas with these portable pumps and machines are going to be interesting. We're going to need big cranes at locations, I think, to unload. Oh, okay, that's a slight issue. Can't go underneath the bridge with 2 tools. Okay, we can now go over the bridge. Didn't think about that as we approached it. Come on, turn to the right, to the left. There we go. The only thing with this is we might as well leave it low because we've got another bridge to go over. Although the other bridge is probably higher because we didn't make it. There's one that was already in, but we'll keep it low just in case. Okay, we'll head up over here. I don't think it'll be too bad to clear the trees. I think it'll be quite a quick one to get done. But yeah, so these missions potentially could be the end of the Purge part then. Or power needed as well. I think the power one isn't too bad. We kind of knew that was coming based on the map itself and that what was needed. I wasn't expecting this road though, to be fair. Right, double check where we're going. So over here and then follow that straight through. There's the bridge we can see ahead of us. That'll be infrastructure route. I think we need to keep setting off. We had this glitch the other day. We've had it a few times on several convoys where it will finish a convoy, the next vehicle won't be sent, so we have to manually send it ourselves, which can be a bit annoying, but we manage it. It's another low bridge. I thought these bridges were higher, but they're actually not. We've already got a big crane here for unloading, so that's not too bad. We'll have a look and see if these portable plants can fit in the back of things like the mule or not. So obviously they can't. We're going to need to use heavy transport a bit more. The L-Steads may be a good one to use as well. Right, what trees does it want us to get rid of? As I say, I'm hoping it recognises what we've already done here. Right, there's a tree there it wants us to get rid of. Move forward. Okay, I'm just going to lay this here. Obviously we don't want to leave the tree in any way near the way it tells us we've got clear. But I want it so if we do want to use it, we can pick it up easy enough. Even if we lay it by the side of the road like that, I think that'll be fine. Right, next one. This one on the left here. But yeah, if we lay them on the side of the road, we should be able to then pick them up when we need to. We've just got to be out of the area there where it wants us to cut them from. So this we might as well reverse back up, finish with the other one to be fair. Don't want it saying mission not complete because the logs in that area, that's all. Whereas we can pick them up easy enough when we want to use them from here. Okay. Trying to keep an eye on both sides here, what it wants us to do. There's going to be a few trees, I think. Is that one on the edge there needing? Yeah, it is. Oh wow, there's lots on this left-hand side, isn't there? Yeah, lots here. We may not need to grind the stumps away, to be fair. It may not tell us to. We had that previously where we thought we was going to. And then the mission, once we got rid of the trees and from the area, we didn't have to deal with the stumps at all. So there is a chance we don't need to. So I might as well just keep making a pile here, I think. We have got a log forwarder nearby that can pick all these up. So we can pick one when we need to. I should grab this one as well. There we go. It's on the line of the area, isn't it? I didn't think there'd be this many trees to clear, to be honest. I thought there was a lot less than this. Because I think we've still got wood to pick up from another place where we cleared loads of trees for another mission, and we've kept the wood nearby just to be ready for it when we need it. I think there's loads there. So we should never run out of wood on this map when we need it. There we go. Yeah, there's lots of them, isn't there? More than I really thought there would be. Lots and lots of trees. I don't know why the sound goes like we can't hear the engine anymore. A few times, to be fair. I do think it's just a sound glitch. It's weird. Hopefully we have a mission where we do need to use this wood. There's going to be a lot of it around. What's going on there? We just pushed the tree over instead. That's really weird. Okay. The tree kind of fell over and disappeared. That was weird. More trees. This has got a long way as well. Got more trees than we thought. Well, we can just keep going. Right, that infrastructure route's just completed. Let's process it. I think that does carry on processing while we're in the map. Okay, infrastructure. Is it still running? No. So it did just complete and no new vehicles come out, which we kind of knew was going to happen. So every time we see infrastructure route complete, we need to redispatch. Until once all the rewards are done, we can ignore it. Luckily, we can do that while we're processing trees. Yeah, I've had that a few times on a few different convoys now. If anything, it's just annoying more than anything else, just because you've got to stop what you're doing to do it. The engine noise seems to cut out when we're reversing, weirdly. There's a decent pile of logs by the end of it. And we've still got the other square to do as well that's separate to this mission. Okay, there's two here, we've got to try and get through the stumps here to get to them. Annoyingly. I could grind them, to be fair. It's not told us to, so I'm holding off grinding until we've got all the trees. This tree's quite heavy. Struggle to lift it there. It's up now though. Once you get closer to the other side, we'll make a pile over the other side as well. Just to save us reversing too far back each time. Okay, there was another one in that rough area. Infrastructure route complete. So once again, back there. Cancel. Reset. That was really quick that time compared to the other time. That seemed really quick. Come on. Pass the stump. Should have got him from further ahead, maybe. One done. I've no idea how many trees we have laying here by the end of it. Quite a few by the looks of things. Okay, next one. One on the left there. And then, okay, we better. I don't know if we're better going forward now and laying them forward or not. Let's get this one. Probably around the halfway point, I think, aren't we? I just think we're about making a pile down here now, but actually, still quite close to this end. I think we're carrying on doing what we're doing. Like picking that one up. Yeah, we're just still close to this side, I think. Thought this mission would be quite quick, but actually it's not nowhere near. Just because there's so many of them. Route complete. Send the game. That is quite a quick route, it seems. And the XP we're getting from that route doesn't matter because we're max level. You can't go above level 20, and every vehicle is unlocked. So it's not that that matters. The money doesn't really matter either. We've got plenty, but it still needs finishing to get it off the infrastructure request list anyway. So we may as well keep it going and get the money from it. Here comes the rain again. Now I'm pretty sure in the previous patch there was lots of complaints about it raining too much on maps. So they said they was going to reduce the frequency of the rain. On this map especially, it's rained an awful lot that's been on this map. And if that's a reduced frequency of rain, I wonder what it was like originally. Yeah. For those that weren't here at the start of the stream as well, I was talking about and it's a situation I had yesterday. So I'll repeat the situation again for those that weren't with this morning, just because I'm after views on whether I'm too old-fashioned maybe in that sense. But so basically, me and my little boy were both been playing Pokemon ZA. Both completed the main story, now Pokedex and all the other side stuff. And yesterday he watched a YouTube video where someone advertised their site where you can go on, request a Pokemon, and it generates it for you and sends it to you via trade. And you can have a shiny, or you can have loads of different things. The only issue is it's all free. You don't have to sign into no details of exchange, other than your in-game username for when it trades. And you can only have Pokemon that can really have the moves and stats that it could have if you found it yourself in-game. And there is a big difference between generating and hacked Pokemon. It's still not advised to use them online, but they are allowed as such. Infrastructure complete. But the reason I was talking about this morning was I said to him he shouldn't have done it. And obviously he can't use that Pokemon he's done for any ranked or online battles, but he can use it in the base game. And he was saying, well, this video said it's fine, you know, no issues. I watched the video and it's 20 minutes of this guy who's made this site telling people to use the site to get the Pokemon they want. He got one, he basically traded himself one that had the Master Ball on it when it was traded and stuff. Now to me, and this, my point wasn't obviously the game that's involved with or anything like that. My issue was more potentially 20,000 odd people have watched the video. He's got 120,000 subscribers. Now there's potential there for children, like my little boy, who see this guy promoting his own website where he does this, and then thinking actually it's fine. But then they go and use, because he doesn't mention online play and not using them, but potentially they could then go online, use this Pokemon that they've generated from his site and get their account back. So my thinking was, you know, there should be more responsibility on the side of the person who made the video to explain the risk. No matter that it's not a hacked Pokemon, it's a generator, there is a big difference. But still, there's risks associated with doing it. But he doesn't say any of that. So my point was, and I never call myself a content creator or a YouTuber, it's not who I am. I'm not either of those things. I do it because I love it and because it keeps me sane. But, do people have more of a responsibility to actually be more open and honest about these things of the videos they create? You know, should a video like that, oh, the road's complete as well, so it has given us the road completion as well. There we go, yep, it's done it. So it has recognised the road is already built. We didn't need to grind the stumps away either. Another bonus. Hang on, my log that I just put down has disappeared. No, it's not, it's further up. Ignore me. Because I can't see where the road request was now. Right, well, I know this one, there is more trees to cut down to our right as part of another mission. So we might as well do it while we're here. But yeah, do we think that, you know, people who create content have more of a responsibility to be careful about what they're encouraging people to do online, or does it not matter? Does it, you know, as long as they get the views, is it really that big a deal? essentially, am I being old-fashioned and thinking this guy should be more open with people about what he's doing and encouraging them to do? Or am I overthinking it and it's not that big a deal? That was more my thinking. Right, this is the mission we want to do next. This one is construct a power line in a steel mill. And to do that, first of all, we need to clear the area of objects, which are either the trees. That's our first port of call. And as we're already here with the crayfish, we'll cut the trees now. This may require stump grinding, this one, to be fair. Because we're clearing the whole area, it may require it, but we shall see. Yeah, while we're here already, let's get this cleared as well. I'm glad you recognised the road, because obviously that would have been annoying to have to redo the road. But yeah, comments or in chat, whatever you want, if anyone's got any opinions, please let me know. I sat him down and spoke about online safety, and obviously he didn't give his account to anyone, or anything like that. But if he goes, if he hadn't told me, and he's quite honest about these things, he should have asked me before he did it, admittedly. But if he went to use online and his account was then banned, he wouldn't know why, because this guy has said it's absolutely fine to do. So yeah, is it more responsibility? Or I'm just being old-fashioned maybe and just thinking too much into it. But actually, what he's done is absolutely fine, and I'm probably being a bit harsh. That's the thing I'm unsure of. I think there's a lack of responsibility sometimes from people who create content. One of my pet hates is when you see people on TV shows and they say, yeah, I'm a content creator and an influencer. That bugs me. And I know I do this full time, not because I have to for a job, but because it keeps me sane. It's the easiest answer. But I still would never say that. If I went onto a TV show and said, what do you do for a living? My response would be, I'm medically retired. Because that's what I am. Or is it when you get to a certain amount of subscribers, maybe, that you are then officially a content creator, influencer, maybe? I don't know. It's a weird one. It's difficult. It's also difficult for me because I don't keep an eye on our subscribers. Because once you hit 1,000 and are monetized, after that it's just a vanity project. Because the subscribers don't matter. If you want to make money on YouTube, once you've got the 1,000 subscribers, they no longer mean anything. After that, the views are more important than actually subscribers. The more views you have, the more money you earn, essentially. The only time it really matters is memberships, if you decide to go that route, Patreon, that kind of stuff. That's when it, then that amount of people subscribing to that matters. But generally, it's just a flex. That's why you very rarely hear me say, make sure you subscribe and all that. I very rarely say it. But I do think some of that is because of how I came into this and my reasons for doing it. I'm probably slightly different to a lot of people. Yeah, just interested to hear people's thoughts really more than anything else. As I say, I could be the one in the wrong, I don't know. Right, how many more of these we got? A few more trees still. Come up the hill as well. I would expect us to have to grind the stumps mainly because we're clearing the area. But it may clear it automatically. Sometimes when you've got a mission to clear an area, it actually clears the stumps away for you. We haven't got a stump grinder right nearby, so it doesn't matter if it doesn't, and we need to do it. Because after this, it will be deliver equipment here, I think. And then we've got lots of delivering to do of equipment and setting things up. And power lines to do as well. So we've got a few things on the go. Lots of trees if we need the wood for anything. I can't really think of a mission that we could have in the future that may need all these trees, to be fair. Infrastructure route complete. This is the annoying part about this, is having to keep going back into this. We are nearly there though. 250 XP and 250 money per truck. We are getting there. Right, slightly up the hill now. It's quite a big area that it wants us to clear, isn't it? That's the thing. Too close. Come back. There we go. I think we did just push a stump over there as well, yeah. Right, we now see the edge there. So what we got? 7 or 8 trees still to take down, I think. Plus the pile we've already made the other side as well. A lot of trees. Lots and lots of wood. As I say, there's no point storing them. There's no point taking our time to store them unless we need to use them for something. We may as well stay here until we're ready to use them. If we ever are, to be fair. I'm hoping before we finish the second DLC map, I'm hoping these new vehicles are released. Yes, they're for woodwork, but at the same time I still like to give them a go. I don't know exactly what ones they are, whether there's no tree cutter coming or not, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'd like to actually give them a go though. I'm still umming and ahhing about whether after we finish the DLC maps, whether we have a look at some modded maps maybe. Not too fussed about vehicles, we were saying this the other day. Not fussed about looking at modded vehicles, but more the maps. More the interesting thing, I think. But I can't see any information about a roadmap for what's still to come, content-wise, or anything, other than these log vehicles at some point in the next month or so. It'd be nice they release the roadmap so we know if there is future content coming. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the game. I'm hoping they are going to keep supporting it. But, you know, Expeditions is one of those that they're actually finishing off after 4 seasons. So there is a potential this is it all we're going to have. How did that fail? Okay. I'm not too sure how that failed. We know it's an actual easy route. It crashed into something. There may have been another route coming the other way actually, because there are some other routes that we can't see anymore because we've got all the rewards that are still ongoing. So maybe they had a vehicle coming the other way and it hit it. We are making progress though. So we started around 68% complete. If we can get to what, 75% today, maybe 80, then potentially we're finishing this map next week. We've only got today and one more stream tomorrow, but tomorrow's stream is Assassin's Creed Mirage's DLC. We continue that tomorrow after starting it yesterday. So if we don't get this map done today, potentially next week, and then we'll start the final DLC map. I'm still struggling to get episodic content done, and it's not just the drowsiness in the minute. This, I said last week, you know, having 2 weeks off because of half term, which we didn't want or expect. It's the way things worked out, plus the bad news we had. I'm massively behind with episodic content, and I was hoping this week I'd catch up, and I haven't. Struggled massively this week, once again. Mainly because some of it's in the head, obviously. I'm just not feeling it for some reason, which is weird for me. But at the same time, like today, my foot's twice the size it should be, which is it happens. That's the RPS for you. We're going to have days where the foot reacts randomly to different things, and it's more painful than it needs to be or should be. So that obviously stops me doing things, and when it comes to episode content, I mean, I'm just not comfortable. It's one reason we don't have a camera, because I'm constantly moving and shifting around while we're streaming. You won't notice it, or hopefully you won't. But yeah, so when trying to record, to edit stuff, voiceover things, it's not the best when you're in a lot of pain. And after finishing streaming, I'm generally not in a good position. Route complete, let's quickly set it off again. So my plan was hopefully to have a full week of episode content next week. I don't think I'm going to get that. I think we'll get the SnowRun episode out on Saturday. But other than that, I'm not sure as it stands. it's bugging me because I really want to get back to how we were before, you know, an episode of something every day of the week. And we've still got Wreckfest to continue on with. We've got Metal Gear Solid 2 to continue with. We've got Far Cry 6 to start. And then we also SnowRunner, that's always ongoing and will be ongoing for many, many moons. As I can't see us ever finishing that at all on the channel, the way, because of how long it is, how much there is to do. But yeah, for those that are expecting an episode or waiting for it, I am trying. We'll hopefully get back to normal sooner rather than later, but it is just a struggle at the minute. I think, and so as I say, some of it is in the head. There are times that I finish streaming, we have lunch, and lunch is kind of my lunch break, the way I do it. Because I have to schedule myself to keep myself motivated in some ways. And also to keep myself, having a schedule helps, I find. I'm so used to working, I was, you know, before the accident I was a workaholic. I loved work. And then not having it anymore really hits you hard. And for me, having something that says, right, you need to do this today, this today, and this today, really helps. But at the minute, because of the pain and everything else, mentally, I just don't want it. I just want to lay down and try and get the pain to stop sometimes. And obviously when I'm doing that, I can't do everything else I want to do, or need to do. And that's what I'm trying to get through at the minute, is just try and get to the point of where I'm motivated again, because the pain isn't stopping me, if that makes sense. We are losing the stream next week actually, because I've got another physio appointment next week, which will be interesting. Obviously after the news she gave us previously, I also got an appointment through the other day for December to go and speak to the pain team again, which my concern is that's them throwing us off the SCS pathway, which is a possibility. I'm hoping I'm overthinking it. My other half thinks I am. She thinks I'm worried about it because of obviously what we were told previously. But there's no reason to have another meeting or another appointment with the pain team, because we're waiting on them saying yes, you can do this. So it just seems weird. I'm a bit unsure why we're having the actual appointment, which is a bit of a concern. So this mission has now changed. We now need to bring 5 steel beams, which we don't have currently. We're going to need to recycle some more metal here. 5 steel beams, and then deliver them here, and that will construct a power line branch inside them in 25 minutes. So yeah, this mission now requires 5 steel beams in this area, and that will then build a power line for us. The mission moved over to this, so we'll do this now as we're already here. Now my only issue is I don't think I've got any vehicle here to do it. No, I haven't. It was the mule was it the mule? I think it was the mule we was using, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, they're all road vehicles. So the mule is actually just over the bridge though, so we can quickly jump into that. We might as well pick some metal up from the surrounding area if we can, and take that with us. So there's a bit of metal over there, there's a big pile here. So we'll go with the mule, go and grab as much of that as possible, and we will get that made in steel pipes. Metal beams, not steel pipes. We need 5 in total. I don't think there's any in storage in the actual facility, because we've got them all out for the 8 we needed. Yeah, lots of metal around. So there's plenty here. We were trying to use the stuff closer to the facility, closer to the actual steel beam area, but we have used a lot of the metal there already. So this is the area that's got lots in. Let's pick a load of this stuff up, shall we? And get this over there. Five steel beams isn't too many, to be fair. Still think we're on to make decent progress today. Thought I was going to be in the way of that truck, but we're not, luckily. Infrastructure route complete. So back over to here. Clear it. We've only got, what, 3 more to do? Yeah, 3 more. I think it's 3 more. Although, no, the XP runs out in 3 more. But there's a lot more to do money-wise. Annoyingly. Right, it's next. Just get as much of this in as possible. And then we can go and make the steel beams. I don't think this will give us the 5 we need immediately. I think we'll need more than this. We shall see. What else have we got here? Looks like a drive shaft, actually. Yeah, that looks like a front wheel drive shaft. As long as it stays in there once we strap it down, it'll be fine. Right, there's flat things here. I don't want to take those just yet. I want them on top really at the end. That's the tyre. We don't want the tyres either. Tyres can't be recycled, they're not metal. We want to move this out of the way as well. So I kind of brought it the wrong way. Obviously, we can't take tyres, they're not recyclable. Can be sold, but we're not doing that currently. One out of the way. What else have we got? That is concrete, not metal, so again we don't want that either. Put it over there. I'm pretty sure I'm right in that not being metal. Let's go to here and just see what it comes up. No, I think it can be sold. It's definitely not metal because it can be sold. It looks like concrete to me. Another tyre, that's another thing there. Another barrel. Infrastructure route complete. Let's quickly send that off again. It is annoying having to do this, but it's the only way of maximising rewards and getting it off the infrastructure list, essentially. Right, what else we got? Some bits in the middle, really, if we can get to it. Right, is that a tyre? It is a tyre. I don't want the tyre. Oh, I had something else there. That's another of the metal things. So move this off the top, that will give us more access. We'll check this over here for me. We'll put that on last to go over the top, I think, if we can. 2 of those then. A tyre, tyre. Okay. The big lump of metal. As much as we can get in there as possible. The closer we get to 5 beams in one go, the better here. Just trying to make sure it all fits. There we go. What else have we got? There was something else in the middle here it was picking up. Aside from the tyres and things. Little barrel there. So it does all add up. Okay, what else have we got? Okay, is that metal or is that not, is my only thinking. I don't know if that's metal that it's now hooking us onto. Yeah, they are. Yeah, both of those two there are metal. That's the last 2 bits according to that. So, that bit there, that is metal. Although we can't quite get to it at the minute. It's not allowing us to get the other side of it. Might need to move that big tire out of the way. We can't get to one part of it. That may give us access now. Infrastructure route complete again. Back over here. Cancel. Go again. Right, now hopefully that gives us access to that big white bit. That is metal. There we go. There is one bit as well near it that's also metal, and then it's the 2 flat pieces. That's everything here done. This is an old fridge or freezer by the looks of it. I think it's a fridge. Will it sit on top nicely, or is this going to have an issue, I wonder? Sit nicely, please. Thank you. There is the big metal thing over there. A picture fielded up previously. I don't know if I'm close enough for it to actually. Yeah, there we go. Curious, I didn't know if it was going to be close enough to it. We'll put this in the back. We'll have a quick look to see if anything else is flashing blue here. But I think we're done, bar the 2 flat pieces of sheeting. I think we're done. There we go. So, anything else flashing blue, or is that it? Yeah, just the 2 flat pieces of sheeting then. And that's all we've got to put on. So what we want the one that's crumpled up, don't we, really, first, but we can't because of the flat one. I can put the flat one on first. I don't think it's that big a deal. All it straps down, that's the important part. We haven't got too far to go with this either. Okay, that's on. With the last one. There we go. Right, my watch keeps going off. Oh. I don't understand hospital sometimes. So we've got this appointment next week with the physio. It's over video chat. But we have to do exercises and stuff in front of the physio, and that's fine. What I don't understand is it's not till next week, and yet I'm now getting emails saying you need to complete the pre-appointment task now. The appointment's not till next week. Why? What's the rush? I was actually trying to get a camera angle to see. Yeah, so everything's strapped up. Hopefully everything stays on. We now need to come back over this bridge here and keep going down, essentially, is where we're going. So across the bridge and follow it straight. We'll watch out for other vehicles as well. And then I'm hoping this will be close to getting... Right, so I've got low gear on. Hopefully this will be close for us to get the 5. I don't know if it will be enough. We may need a few more barrels, maybe. I'm hoping it's close. I think next time, if we travel through this area again, it may be worth picking metal up as we go through it, if we've got nothing on the back. Because we are lacking metal near the actual steel beam facility now, and if we need any more, to save ourselves a bit of time, but only if we're travelling this way. Oh, that barrel. I'm concerned that barrel's going to fall out, to be fair. Right, onto the road. Let's go and make these beams. Whoa! Too fast around the corner, lost control a little bit there. How are we doing for time? Oh, still plenty of time. Hour and a half left. Plenty of time. I'm hoping to get the second part of this done, and it's just the final part of the map to do is what my hope is, but it's just it's how long things take. That's the thing. Right, still being facility. Through here, yeah. Trying to remember where to go. For some reason I just can't keep in my head of where the directions we need to take. So a quick glance is normally enough then and go, oh yeah, I know where we're going. Okay, will this be enough for 5 is the question. If it is, brilliant. If it's not, we need a bit more. It is 4. How close could we get? 4. Okay. There is a load of metal drums over here. That's probably worth grabbing them quickly. There's nothing else really around this area anymore. There's a big pipe there, but moving them is a pain. So yeah, quickly go and grab a few drums. and then that should be enough for the 5 we need. Can't believe we're that short. There's lots of stuff around us that looks like it's metal but doesn't show up as such, so it can't really be used, unfortunately. We could really clear a lot of this yard though if we could clear all the metal away, but it doesn't show up as metal. Right, there's barrels over here. Is 4 going to be enough is the question. I don't need anchors on for this. 4 barrels isn't very much, but it may just be enough. I'll do that moving the crane just to make things quicker. It was nice when you don't have to move the crane to pick things up. And we'll take these straight there and see if it does the 5. I think it will. There's nothing to tell us really what everything's worth when you recycle, but I think that may be enough. Either that or it's going to be really short, it's going to be very close. Okay, let's go and chuck this in. Don't just shut them down, it's only a few barrels. Please be 5 and then I don't have to go back and get more. I could fill ourselves up, but I don't really need to at the minute, that's the thing. Everything for this job is actually quite close to us as well, that's the thing. There we go, 5. We have done enough. Does that fence fall down? I'm not going to get across. So obviously we can get the 5 out now. We need to head round, load them up, and then we'll go and quickly deliver them. It's really close by as well, so this is all quick and easy. The other deliveries and things are going to be a little bit tougher, and we'll have to organise ourselves a little bit better for them, I think. So whether or not the containers we need to pick up can be taken in something like the mule or the Voron, or do we need the heavy transporter? And then the other thing is, what crane will lift them so we can put them down in the sites it's given us? Because the problem with the mule and the Voron, you've got to be really close to the drop-off point, otherwise it's tricky. So to actually get the angle needed and the positioning. So do we need a heavy crane at each site? That's the question. We won't really know until we do the first one. It's all going to be about the access to the area, I think, as well. Right, 5 steel beams, just got to get them on the back. It doesn't matter how tidy it is, as long as they just go on the back. That's all we need. There you go. Trying to get the right angle to see what I'm doing. Yeah, we're not taking these too far, so we don't need to be really serious about how we load them on. As long as they're on, they stay on, once strapped, all good. Last one. Okay, that was a bit caught up underneath. Trying to get the turn, there we go. Okay. Steel beams are on. Let's go and get these delivered. Why is low gear on? Can't take low gear off again. We had this before, but low gear is showing us on. Although it doesn't feel like it's on, to be fair. No, it does, yeah. Steel beam, it does feel like it's on. Why is low gear on? I can't turn it off. You can turn everything else off, but low gear. We had this previously. We're not going too fast, it's not the end of the world, just frustrating, just annoying. Like we're going to blow the engine up. There it is, off now. I don't know if it's because it recognises the weight on board maybe, I don't know, it's a weird one. I've had it a few times with different vehicles as well, it's not always the same vehicle. Right, I've got a feeling we don't need to drop these off, I think we just need to drive into that area. potentially. This may destroy the mule though, because it may throw us out once it's delivered. Let's see. There we go, mission complete. There's the power line. Another mission complete. I didn't throw the mule somewhere weird either. I really miss Kelly. Every time you complete a mission, you notice how much you miss Kelly. Why has this not told us it's completed again? Or did I miss the completion maybe? There's no vehicle travelling that route. I might have missed the completion, to be fair. Oh no, it's there. Okay. It is still going. Right, next mission then. Let's have a look. 3 more to go, it looks like. Install the ship facilities at the prepared locations. Right. Do we do power first, maybe? Let's have a look at this. May do the power first. Where is our cable layer? That's the first question, isn't it? Mainly because the others are all deliveries. I think doing something a bit different for a minute, since we've done lots of delivering so far, just changes things up a little bit. Vehicles. Cable layer, where are you? I know it's out and about, I just don't know where. It's whether we recall it somewhere closer to where we're going, or we drive it ourselves, depending where it is. There we go. It's currently there. Okay. I'm never going to get it to there. What's the quickest route from there? Over this way, isn't it? Okay. I think we recall it back to the garage over here, because then we need to drive it along this railway track, this route here, come across these two. Oh no, we want to come across this top bit, past the sand quarry, come in from this power line, through the water here. There is a slight track over here. Try and stay off the road a little bit, because I want to leave the road clear, and then put it over here for the power to the measurement station. We'll do that first, I think. Infrastructure has just finished, so I'm just going to quickly set that off again. We're going to need still to do, what, 4, 8, 12 times? 11 after this one, potentially. Okay, so let's go to roadside base, recall the cable layer. There's only one version of the cable layer, so we don't have a choice of vehicle to use. And we need to start thinking about how we're going to deliver everything. It's all about size really more than anything else, isn't it? What we need to carry it on, what kind of size are we dealing with. Now I think, because we're going to go all the way down here, we're better off following the railway track, or we're better off going via our road. Probably via our road, to be fair, because we're coming in from over here, aren't we? Well, they're saying, yeah, we're down here. So yeah, follow our road, I think, is our quickest way. It's not the fastest vehicle, it's also not the slowest though. On the road it'll be absolutely fine. But yeah, we're going to try and avoid the road use as much as possible and putting this down. Now there are bridges that lead to the same area, rather than going through the water, but one of those bridges is one of those that's slightly damaged. And you can't go back once you go over it, because it drops down. So we don't want to ruin this other route with the cable laying if we can help it, just to make things a lot harder going forward. We could put a load of sand down, to be fair, if we wanted to over the water, if we really need to, and do that. But at the minute I don't think it's needed. But once we pass the concrete plant, we go to the other road that's here, keep following that down, and then we're nearly where we need to start. We had previously looked at this because we knew the other place needed power. It was obvious that mission was going to come at some point. So we did already know this was going to happen. That's why we already roughly know where we're going from and to be fair. Right, infrastructure requests, we'll send it back off again. Bear with me 2 seconds, I just need to close the blind. We had this happen the other day. The sun is so bright now, because it's winter. For those that aren't aware, in the winter the sun is lower. And because of that, it comes straight through my window. Straight into my face, so I can't see what I'm doing. It's really annoying. There we go. Problem solved. Right, that route's underway again. As I say, we're getting there with that. Once that's finished, it'll be nice not to keep doing that. But it is a glitch that we've had on other maps as well. We don't quite know what causes it. I suppose it doesn't matter. If you don't want the extra rewards, it doesn't matter. But I kind of like clearing off our list. And for that, we need to get every reward we can off it for it to clear. Now, I'm not sure if there's a convoy coming towards us on this road. There was one previously, but we have got all the rewards from it. It may not still be running. If it is, I'm not moving. We're staying on because I don't think we'll probably get back up the hill if we go off. So if it comes towards us, we will just keep going. But it may have finished. Because sometimes, when as long as all the rewards are claimed, if the route then fails, because you can't then reset it, it then doesn't carry on. It stops. There we go. Okay, so from here we need to be heading. I really should put the handbrake on when I go onto the map. We need to follow this track, but we need to go this side, or we need to skirt around this water, this gap here. But we're going to here to start with, and then we're going to come this way and in. So we may need to see if we can skirt around this gap here. Might be able to go this way. It's a bit rocky though. Might be able to do it. This can generally go for most terrain, to be fair. From what we've done in the past a bit, most terrain is absolutely fine for it. It doesn't really struggle. I think the tracks do make a massive difference, to be fair. We'll try the left route. I think we may be able to do it. The only thing with this, you can tip it over, and then that's a pain to deal with. Infrastructure route again complete. Send that off again. We are definitely getting there with that. Right, can we get past? We'll need to go a different way. I think I go to the left here. Just trying to think. Obviously I don't want to tip myself over, I don't want to be silly with it, I just want to get round this area. Should better knock the tree over. There we go. So we need to be careful not to tip ourselves over. There's very small trees. There we go, we're over. I see the route through. We did use some bridge there on the bridge layers, but we moved it because we needed it elsewhere. Okay, this is our starting point there. The track, we might as well use the track that's there for the minute to get to it. I'm not sure we can cut across that hill or not, to be fair, with this. Off we go. They're thin trees, so we can always knock them down. We just need to assess whether we're going across from here or back down and then round. Most of these trees will disappear, we'll just go and knock them. Okay. Stop there for a second. Right, we're in the zone as a starting point. Now, the shallower part is here. So that's kind of where we need to get to. And we might be better off going on, rather than going back down and round, and we might be better off just going across. There is a top section here and down here. Might be a better way, actually. Let's have a look at that. That's the starting point. This isn't too difficult to do, it's just judging the best way of doing it. Well, the bigger trees will cause us a bigger problem. I think we're probably alright starting there, to be fair. We're still in the zone. Slightly, if we go slightly right here as well. Right, digger down. Cable laid. So the only issue we've got is making sure we go across that water the right way, because I don't want us to get too deep, because we will end up drowning the vehicle. We're going to try and avoid if we can. Down the hill. A bit bumpy, but it's managing. And then it's left here. And follow where the mud is in the water. That will be our shallowest part, I believe. Double check. Yep, shallowest part. Follow this up to here and then across. That piece of wood in the middle there is something we can pick up if we really wanted to as well. It can be used. This should be fairly shallow because of the mud. This next one, you can't really tell how deep it is. If we go too deep, we will drown the vehicle. I think we're okay though. A bit of issue with the mud a little bit. At least if the cable's underwater, it's out of the way. This whole bit may also be shallow, so we can't really tell. Staying where the mud is in the safest option. To the right. I always say I want to try and stay off the track, but I don't know what choice there. There. Mission complete. The electricity is now there at the water treatment plant. That is in position. That is now going to be up and running. So that's job done. Now 2 more jobs to do, and then hopefully Purge is complete. We've got over an hour left to stream. Plenty of time to get these done. So the first thing we need to do: install the ship facilities at the prepared locations. So a batch of mobile water treatment facilities has been shipped and unloaded at the port. Just there. We've got to transport them to the prepared sites. One location needs electricity as it's too far away. We need to deliver a mobile generator from the main power substation. Okay. These do look quite big, don't they? I think we might need the big transporter. So that's the main power substation. Something needs delivering there, or is that pick up as well? I think they both need them, don't they? Yeah, both need generators. I'm just thinking, is it worth picking both up at the same time and taking them to wherever they need to go? Because that's going to here. No, it's not. That's going there. Where's this generator going? That's going to there, which isn't too far away from it. And then the other one is going there, which again, there is a bridge. Oh no, it's not, it's going here. That's actually quite a long way away. To be fair, that one. The second one is quite a long way, but the first one isn't too bad. The first one ends up in a decent location. I'm just thinking, do we take both at the same time? Although going there, we've got to come back on ourselves. Because they're going to be quite small, so a smaller vehicle. But actually, that from there, you can't really get to where the next one goes. So I don't think it's worth doing that. I think we're better off picking up a smaller vehicle, essentially. We have got a scout here, mobile base. We have got a big crane here as well, which will help with dropping these two off. So let's do the top one first. So one is going there, which to get there isn't too bad. I don't know if we can skirt through here and then getting off. That's going to be tricky. I think we're better off just going round and then coming across here. To unload it, we're probably going to need a big crane here, to be fair, to do so. Actually thinking about it. We've got coastal base here though, to be fair. And then the second one, where's the second one going? All the way north. Now, is it worth trying to pick both up on the big transporter, heavy transporter, Although getting the heavy transporter across here could be problematic. That's the only thing. They look fairly big as well. Are we better off using the Alsace? Maybe. I think they're going to be too big for the mule. That's the problem. Heavy transporter will struggle to get across this water area. So I think maybe the Alsace will be the better option there. So let's get that here. So I'm trying to think what our best options are here. I think my concern is the heavy transporter struggling to get across that water area. We know it struggles with any kind of weight on the back. It's probably not worth that risk. Scout trailer is rubbish, as we found previously. That's the bridge there, isn't it? I think maybe the Alsace. I know we've got the basic Voron. Wayfarer is horrendous as well. But yeah, I think Alsace. I just don't know if it's going to fit on the back of it. That's my only concern. We're going to get a crane there anyway, and we'll need one to drop off. So it's going to take a couple of journeys. Where's the Alsace gone? Am I just not seeing it? There it is. Right, we'll drive the Alsace there from the coastal base. We'll assess it there. We may get this wrong and may have to use the heavy transporter. Maybe get it close by the heavy transporter, then take it off and use something else, maybe. But we'll get close and have a look. We need to assess the size really more than anything else. I don't think there's an easy way of doing that, is there? Saying that, is there a crane there? No, there's no crane to use. I was wondering if we jump in the crane we can see what we're looking at, but we can't. So we're going to use this to get to the port and assess it. I think we'll need a big crane there anyway. We'll need one for unloading no matter what. It's whether this will fit in the back. If it fits in the back of the Alsace with plenty of room, then actually the mule and the Voron can pick them up. And this will help us with the other mission because they're all the same size. The only difference is the power generator is smaller. That's the only difference. But until we actually see the proper size of these things, we don't really know what we're dealing with. They do look quite thin but long, that's the problem. But we're not too far away to go and check it out. I should actually map the object. I should really put this on, shouldn't I? Track that, there we go. Infrastructure, is that still going? Can we see a vehicle? I don't remember it completing anytime soon, that's recently. Don't know if it has. Can't see. Oh yeah, there it is. Every time I doubt that it's working, it then is working. But I think these two missions potentially will finish off this middle part. And I think so far I've done what, 4 or 5 missions today already? The road one was pretty simple. Once we got rid of the trees, to be fair, the road was already built. So that helped massively. Otherwise that would have taken a bit more time, to be fair. Although weird that we had, I suppose we extended it, didn't we? So we had a previous mission that we extended. Hence why the second bit was done. Right. I'm looking to see what these containers are like. It's an awkward area to get them to, that bit over there as well, to be fair. The stuff going to Warmay won't be too bad. From here anyway. I think pick up from Warmay, so it may not be. It might be the other side. Let's have a look. Will we fit them in the back of this, or will they be awkward and annoying and have to use a heavy transporter? That's the question. What is the size we're dealing with? Where do we get to pick these up? Oh yeah, straight ahead and then left. Oh, okay. I don't know if they'll fit. They are big old things, aren't they? Lengthwise, we are yeah, it's too big. So lengthwise it is too big. Let's just do that infrastructure route. There we go. Yeah, lengthwise they're slightly too big. I think it's going to be a heavy transporter, you know. And then width, I think, is too big as well. I think we can get one on the back of this, but it will be a struggle with it. Still think maybe we'll have to loading this one up, to be fair. Just wanted to see width. Yeah, width is too long as well. I think we've got to get a crane here anyway, so we're going to bring a big crane across. I've got to be careful which one, because others are near places we're going to need to use them, to be fair. So let's just check which cranes are where, so we know which one we can pull in. And it's only the big ones, really. So the EPAC Heavy Mobile is there, which we can use. Do we need anything down? Yeah, we need to drop off down that gap there, so that we can keep that there for that one. The EPAC is currently there. I'm not too worried about that one. Vostok is... that can stay there. The Rusty Heavy Crane is currently near the water plant, which we don't need to do anything there. No. Potentially that one can be called back. The Zilks is currently here. We're going to need that in War Mesa. We'll leave that there. So I think the Zilks Rusty is the one we want to call back to use. We are using the rusty ones. We could actually buy a new one, to be fair, but rusty ones work absolutely fine. You lose a little bit on them, but not massively. I think stats wise, the stability, mobility and capability go up by 1 with the non-rusty version. But other than that, they still do the same job, they still lift the same weight. So not too bad to use. So we'll get this to the port, we'll try and load up the LZ and see what it does. Oh wait, I hope I go the right way, to be fair. We'll see how it handles it, we'll try driving out the port. If it doesn't handle it, then we'll have to get the heavy transporter. But at least we've tried. The last thing I want is take a heavy transporter there and we don't need to. I still think the heavy transporter won't get it across that water. Or if it does, it may get stuck. So then we'll need a big crane to unload anyway. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, we're going to drive to the port first anyway. If it does manage to pick up and travel okay, then we'll use the LZ for the other one that's here as well. We'll take that where it needs to go using the LZ. We shall see. I mean, 2 miles, I don't know if it will be able to handle it. I think it will be quite heavy. But then the weight will be spread. There will be a bit extra weight on the back because it'll overhang. And it will need to be able to strap as well, which it may be able to. You can carry oversized loads and it will strap, as long as it's not overhanging the edge too much. When it's overhanging the edge, it doesn't strap up. But it's also whether it can actually move under that weight. The other question. Yeah, this place is just the first one we're delivering. It's just an awkward position more than anything else. It just could be a better place, really. But that's the whole point, isn't it? It's to make you challenge yourself to get the infrastructure in place to actually be able to deliver it. So yeah, potentially 6 deliveries, and that is potentially Purge complete. And then we're on the final run of the map for the final missions. And I don't really know which way it's going to go in terms of what else will be left to do, to be fair. Hopefully we need wood for something, so we've got loads of that. But yeah, I'm not too sure which way it's going to go with what we still need to do, to be fair. It's depending on what the Purge does, you know, if it actually gets rid of all the contamination and the majority of it, then I don't know what it'll want. Maybe get rid of it all, the wastage maybe. Right, we need to make sure we pick up the right one here as well. Quickly send that infrastructure off again. We are getting close to getting this done. I think sometimes it does send itself out, but not all the time, because there are times it takes forever to actually do its job, and then suddenly it will appear and say done, so I'm not sure on that one. Okay, so is it the one on the left or the one on the right we need first? Is the first question. The one on the right is going there. On the left is going all over there. Okay. So the one on the right is the one we need first and foremost. The L-says can stay there, we'll load up from where it is. Okay. How will the L-says deal with the weight and the length? That's the big question. Cool looking plants though, aren't they? Mobile water treatment plants. Right, we're going to need to make sure this is as straight on there as possible. Obviously if we parked it straighter, it probably would be better. Just need a bit more of a view. We know it's going to overhang, it's just making sure the minimum hanging. Swing's not helping, is it? So, oh yeah, so the thing is, if it's not on there straight, we'll have an issue once we hit that water and things get a bit bumpy. Right, I think that's on. That is on. I'm just going to reset crane because it may not let us strap if the crane's overhead. Right, firstly, will this strap, no, wrong button, it will. Will it drive? It will. That's actually driving with no issues. So I think this is a go. I think this will work. But obviously we'll need to get the crane over there to unload, that's fine. Camera's a bit messed up, but yeah, it doesn't seem that bad. I thought it'd be really tricky to use. Why is I know why my camera's messed up, because we didn't come out of crane view in the camera there. That's now normal view. I think that's it. It's going to be awkward to see a little bit here. Right, we want to come out of here anyway, and then we want to. There's no point going across there. It doesn't help us. So, because I don't know if we'll get down the rocks there. Although that does, it looks doable, but it's too much. I think it's too much of a risk to even try and get down there. I think. So yeah, we want to come out of the port, and then go down here, and over there. I know people said before you can move your point of view to help with things like this, but then you've got to move it back when you're not using these kind of loads. So just rather just do it as is. You want to be a little bit careful on the bouncing, because obviously we could tip over. But generally, I think we're going to be alright. I think the L-says is definitely proving its work. As I say, if it had a crane on board, even better, but then we wouldn't be able to carry this with a crane on board. It will take up some of the space. So it not having a crane means it can do this. That was awkward though. That got a bit dodgy. Okay. Over this bit of mud. And then we'll look to the right hand side of where we go up. To get across. Basically head right now really. There was more water here previously, but it drained from a previous mission, to be fair. Infrastructure route complete. Quickly send that off again. what is it? 250, so 4 more needed. And then this is done and we can stop having to keep resending it. Don't tip. You can see where the cable layer went, we're essentially following that route. But if we can straddle that, that would probably be the better option so we're not bouncing on it. Not the easiest route to take. We've got to get a crane over here yet as well. That's the other thing. So if this does fall over, we have got the crane to come anyway. So it will help us get out of the situation. I'd like to get there without doing that though. Just have the crane unload be the plan. Not simple though, is it? No, it's gone. Can't save it. There we go. Well, we're bringing the crane anyway. It's just not the ideal way of doing it. I thought we were doing well there. It just kind of hit a hump and we couldn't save it. The crane is coming anyway because we need it to unload. So we'll get this over there, pick it back up, and then finish and get it unloaded over the other side. That was the first one of 2 done. Yeah, so the owl says can carry it. That's not the issue. The issue is more it is unsteady, shall we say. I think the second one we probably are better using heavy transporter because we can pick up the generator at the same time because that's going to the same place as the second one and drive that to where it needs to go. There is a garage quite close to that next location, so that helps as well. Yeah, heavy transporter, pick up the one at the port there, then get the generator and then head north. Essentially where it's got to go. Right, this needs to get through the mud as well. Obviously if this tips over we're in big trouble. But this has got a lot more weight to it. Just help. Infrastructure complete. Sometimes this is really quick and sometimes it's really slow. Another one done. Okay, I don't know if we can get up there. I have to try and go more to one side, I think. Go back and more to the right. Gentle slope essentially to get up. Because the front end is getting into the mud and stopping it. There we go. Okay. We stacked the mud. Some movement, not much though. Come on. I think the electricity we laid probably has hindered us a little bit here, to be honest. Right, let's get this back on its feet. Come on. I don't think it helps with lifting it from the bottom. I think we need to lift it more from the top. If I change contact point, is it only going to let me pick it up from there? Yeah, okay. Won't let me change anything else. I don't want to be tipping up. I don't want to be picking up from the bottom. That's the problem. But it won't allow me to pick it up other way round. What I need to do, I think, is I'll put it on the top of us here. I'm basically going to try and make it tip off. It won't allow me to pick it up from the other side. So I think if we lower this down at such an angle, it's going to then fall. Infrastructure route complete. Let's quickly do this. 2 more needed. Right, let's tip this forward. It's not back on its feet. It won't let me pick it up from the way I want to, that's the problem. I have made more of a rod throwing back here. Just need it to go back on its wheels. Come on. Come on. I need to get caught in the mud essentially, then tip. It's slowly doing that, nearly did it there. There we go. It is back. That was awkward. Okay. Obviously let's try not to tip over again. I know it's easier said than done with this. Don't do it. Thought we're going over again there. It's just very top heavy, that's the problem. I do think the cable we laid for the power isn't helpful, but it's done now. We're nearly there. So I'll get up this hill, and then we're there, I think. Yeah, luckily we had the crane coming behind, to be honest. We got there in the end. Okay, I don't really know best position for this. Obviously crane needs to come and get this off. So let's park there for the minute. I think crane needs to go closer first, and then we'll deal with where that can go to be picked up. Yeah. A little bit annoying trying to pick it up. It just wouldn't give me where I needed to pick it up from. It just kept doing it from the bottom. Right, last time we need to do that route. That should be fully complete after that's done. Another infrastructure route fully done. We beat ourselves or something, I think. What are we... We're caught on something under the water we can't see. Okay. Anchors. There we are. Sometimes when you come out of anchors, because you're coming down on yourself, sometimes it can help you move. That didn't know, did it? Can't get anywhere. I wasn't expecting to get stuck with this. There's logs there. Hang on. Can we push against the bridge and push ourselves back, maybe? Have we reached the bridge? Just about. Is that enough to make this go? Yeah, it is. That's done it. Just need to push off the bridge to then push us back. Right, we'll go to the side here. That's obviously not liking that bit there. There's something under the water we couldn't see. We kind of beach ourselves on. So we'll spike to the crane, won't it? Right, up the hill we go. This first one hasn't been as simple as I thought it was going to be. I think we've managed it in the end, which is the important part. Come on. Right, drop off locations over here. A few trees in the way, which may be able to knock down here. Get out of the way. There's tree stumps around, isn't there, when we took the trees down here. Yeah. Okay, location we've got to get it down to is there. Infrastructure route is done. And now there's no more infrastructure routes waiting. Perfect. I think that this might be our best position here. should be able to reach ahead of us and reach behind. So we're going to need to get the Alsace closer to this ideally. I'll take it a little bit easy going through the trees and stumps. There's a little bump here to be careful of. Okay, I think we're good there. Unstrap. Swap to crane. Not as close as it looks. Of course, that looks a lot closer than it actually is, I think. Right, bring crane up and round. Probably could do moving the outside a little bit closer. It looked like it was closer than actually what it is. Let's just move that a little bit forward. There we go. Should be okay. Crane over the top. Okay. Don't need to do too high with it. It just needs to be on there. And I'm hoping we've come far enough forward to actually get there, but I think we would have done. And this will be the first water treatment plant mobile version in position. Down it goes. First one in position, job done. Okay, second one now to do. Now for this one, as I say, I think we're better off with the big transporter. Reason for that, we've got the one to pick up there and we're taking it a long distance, but also on the way, because picking up from here, we come back along this way and we head to the main power station and pick up the generator that's there as well. At least that's two things done at once, and then they're both going north, which, what's their best route there? I wonder if we're better off picking the small generator at first. Only because once we come out of the port, I'm better off going via this way. Probably we are. So, for that, I think we need to head to the main power substation first, pick up the generator, then go to the port. We're going to need a crane for the generator. There needs to be a big crane. The other generator, if we plan this, we can do really well. We could get more than one done. The other generator can be a small vehicle, so I'm thinking mule or Voron, something like that, to load up the big transporter there. So we want, first and foremost, big transporter. And then we need to drive that to there first. The only issue with the main big transporter is, or heavy transporters it should be called, obviously it can struggle in some conditions, especially when it's got a decent amount of weight on the back. Now the generator won't be that much weight, but it's after that, when we've got the big bit on, potentially it'll be quite a lot of weight on there. We'll have to see how that goes. So, we want the main power substation first, which for that we need to come down out of here and actually just go in. Fairly simple one. And then after the port, whether we drive the crane back from where it is off, dropping the first one off, or put it back to the garage to then drive back to the port, that's the other thing we need to decide. I don't know what the quicker option would be. Drive it back or pull it back and then drive it back to the port. What's the better option is the question. Right, generator we want is the far generator, not the nearest. So our generator is there. And then from here, how are we getting out of here is my question. Back the way we've came, okay. So we want to kind of turn around first, essentially, ready to leave the same way. And then we'll get a crane here. be fair, it might be better off just to get the heavy crane back from where it is, because it's got to come here first anyway. Well, no, we're going to use the mule, weren't we? Thinking about it. Because it can carry the other one for the other mission. Okay. The mule crane isn't the best, but yeah, it should be alright though. Not moving it too far. So, back to the garage over here. I don't know really what one to pull in, but I don't think it matters massively because of where they are currently. Let's grab the Voron. I don't remember where that is, but it won't matter because we use these everywhere. We're going to head straight there, load up the heavy transporter, then drive the heavy transporter to the port. And then the big crane that's just done the first of these mobile water treatment plants will pull that. Well, we can probably drive that from where it is back to the port. Either way, we're going to drive to the port from one place to another. So we can drive it from where it is. Unless it gets stuck, then we'll just pull it. There'll be no messing around, just pull it straight back to the garage. Drive it back to the port to load up. And yeah, this can take the other one when we're on to that one next. Okay. Get this on the back of the heavy transporter. I am hoping this can fit both of these on, to be fair. It should be okay, but the other ones are quite long. That's the only thing we're a bit unsure of. Should fit. It's going to be close, maybe. If we get this close as we can to the ramps, as close as we can go, really, to be fair. We won't know until we try. We may have to move things around, maybe have it sideways, potentially. Right, so that's there ready to grab the other one when we need to do it. First and foremost, let's strap that down. There we go. Cannot secure and wheels. It does that. I don't know why it does that. We'll unstrap and restrap. It's fine now. So we're driving out of here to the port. So we need a right turn at the end of here. Thanks for the like and all, such appreciated. How are we doing time? 40 minutes to see if we can get the second part of the map done. I think we should. It's just about taking things from one place to the other at the minute. So up this here. That's why I'm just thinking, what's the easiest vehicle, closest vehicle to use a lot of the time. Obviously this has got quite a big journey once we pick up the one from the port, as this needs to go past the cement concrete factory. I'm trying to think what it's called then. Past the concrete factory, past and through the other base that's there, and then near the woods that we cleared before, and then we can set a crane from that base, which is seconds away. So the biggest part of this is actually getting the generator and the mobile treatment plant where it needs to go. The crane side of it's fairly simple. But we're getting there. And then we just got the other mission to do, which is two more of these plus a generator that have been dropped off elsewhere. And then two of them are going to War Mate and one is going elsewhere. So potentially there won't be much left to do on this map next week. And then we've got the final DLC map to go. This map I think it's kind of felt like it's taken a while, but obviously we lost the 2 weeks for half term, so we couldn't stream during that. So this has felt like it's taken longer than I think it actually has. It's definitely not been the worst map we've dealt with. I think Deluge may have been the worst one. Or Sunkern maybe. I think it's one of those two of the worst maps. In terms of difficulty wise, I mean. And obviously we've not had to deal with fuel and stuff. Now there are new difficulty modifiers you can add in, but unless we restart the whole game, we can't add them in. but obviously we could have made it a lot harder, so they were there on release with damage and with fuel. That would have changed the game dramatically. Let's bring crane first and then we'll position that after. So the crane that's over here, we might as well just drive back. If we have any issues though, we'll just bring it straight back. Space obstructed, okay. Oh, it's because of the vehicle, right, there we go. It's because of the vehicle behind us. But rather than mess around, let's quickly move this. That should be enough space to get past. Okay. Watch out for stumps. You can turn around once you're back on that top bit. I've got some stumps, I have. Always the stumps to watch out for. Oh, there's two together here, that's right. There we go. Right. Just need to turn this round before we go down the hill there. Yeah, I think laying the cable first may have been a slight error just because it's made this underwater crossing a little bit more unstable. We could take the time and lay sand down there, but I think we don't have to come back here again now. It seems a bit of a waste of time to put sand down or anything. That's all we have to do with that bit. If we were coming back again, then maybe we would, to make it a lot easier for ourselves, but there's no other reason to come back now. Then we don't really need to spend that time. Okay. Cross this next section of mud and then we're heading up the hill and round, and the port will be there as well. So we can get the heavy transporter loaded up. The heavy transporter does need to make this crossing, which is a little bit concerning, as we have seen it struggle with mud in the past. Although we can always bring the crane out of the port to then give it a push if we really need to, but hopefully we won't have to. Yeah, you know it can struggle, that's the only thing. So up the hill and then the port will be ahead of us. And we can get it up, we can get it loaded up and ready to go. It'll be interesting to see what the land around us changes to once these mobile stations up and running, to be fair. That's one of the big things I think this game does really well. And it's one thing I wish SnowRunner did, is when you've completed certain objectives, the land around you changes based on what you've done. So pumps, essentially, water in certain places lower. And that's really cool to see. You actually feel like you are building something and actually affecting things. In SnowRunner, you do the same kind of missions to a point, and that nothing changes on the terrain around you. And obviously this has come after that, so maybe they wasn't able to be done back then when they released SnowRunner, but it's a shame that it wasn't a thing that was added in. As we play both games, it's just something I noticed more. Right, heavy transporter, we need to reverse it up, and I hate reversing this, admittedly, but we need to get this position for the crane. We've messed that up already. I think. No, I might be able to save it. No, maybe we can forward a bit. Well, yeah, I messed that up. I hate reversing these kind of things. I like trailers that are more fixed, because that way you got more control over the turning. And this is going to look closer than what it is, I think. Right, I think that's fine. We need to unstrap the first cargo. Crane. Okay, will this fit with the generator on there too? I'm hoping it does. Otherwise we're going to need to move a few things around to make it work. Which means, yeah, it's just going to depend. It's going to be tight, looking at that. If we strap it down and then put the ramps back up, I'm not too sure how they go. It's going to be very tight though. Okay. I don't know if I'm better off letting the ramps down. Because obviously if we strap it before the ramps come up, in theory nothing will move. I don't know if the ramps will stay down, which will create its own problem. Trying to get as close as possible. Maybe down so we're touching that, because that way then we can't then go too far. Just on the edge. There we go. Right, we are going to be massively over. It's whether as long as it straps down, we're okay. It won't affect the actual trailer turning or anything. Just need it to actually strap down. I thought doing two of these together would make sense, but actually it's maybe too much. Okay, I don't know if it'll strap. If it doesn't strap, then we've got an issue. I don't think it will. It will. Okay, it's strapped down. We'll take that. If it's strapped, it's strapped. There we go. We're off. I really didn't think that was going to strap down, to be fair. I thought it was going to be too much. But it's done it. Perfect. Okay. Got a lot of weight on the back now though. So we need to get across that mud section, and then there's some sand, and then we're on our road. And I think it's road all the way then. So that's not too bad once we get to that point. But if we may have to pull something in to push us potentially, depending how it goes. The weight is kind of spread evenly, so that kind of should help. It seems to be handling the weight pretty well. Normally this struggles with weight, so we always say it needs more power. But actually it's not doing too bad though. Let's see how the mud goes. This is the bit I was concerned about. We have got low gear if we need it. As long as it's still moving forward, it's managing. It's struggling a little bit. I think it's going to be okay. Unless I spoke too soon. No, it's made it. That was the only bit of this journey I was concerned about was that. And actually, it's done brilliantly. Okay. I may have to stop saying how rubbish this is at times. It's done really well. Now obviously we've got the gap in the road to our right here, so we're going to have to go left. We're not going to have a risk going across the rocks and stuff like we did previously. So we are going to go left here, which again, it does pose its own problems. But there is a big hole in the road to the right. A little bit bumpy, but it's okay. Don't mind it being bumpy. The bogging down I don't want. Okay, where do we go back up? I don't think it's to the right here, is it? Let's have a look. No, we're going to keep going until we go back up here, I think. We had to come this way because of that hole in the road there. So we've got to come this way. I didn't want to risk going through the trees. But yeah, we've got to go through here and up. Which I don't think we've done with this before. But it has to have the last bit of mud pretty well. And this is quite drained down, to be fair, from other missions. There's concrete on the floor that we recycled there. So this is drained more than it was previously, which has helped. But yeah, concrete and some metal here that can be used if ever need it. At this point I don't think we're going to need much recycling though now. Okay, ramp is to our right. There's a big hole there we'll try and dodge. It's not liking it, and now we've beached ourselves. Not liked where we are. It's burying itself a little bit. Low gear on, see if that helps. It's kind of, no, I don't think we're going to get past this bit. Maybe actually, we are moving. We were a little bit there. Did it come round? At times you can suddenly find the grip, that's the thing. Take low gear off for a minute. Sometimes low gear can be a hindrance. Don't think we're moving, are we? Can we reverse at all? A little bit. I was trying to avoid that hole there, to be fair, but we ended up in it anyway. It's where the mud got really soft suddenly. Can we go to the left? We can. We'll make sure we leave enough width to make sure the trailer doesn't go down that hole though. Take low gear off. So it can be more of a hindrance sometimes. Come on, find the grip. Find it. There's a rock there, it's not helped. Still moving though. Still moving, that's a good sign. Right. Kind of dug ourselves a hole in the end. It was going forward, it was working. And then I think we've just got ourselves in a hole. No movement forwards. Try back. Up in there. No, I think we need a push. Came close to getting straight up there though. I thought we was going to make it, to be fair. What have we got nearby? The El says potentially. I don't think it'll be strong enough, to be honest. I think the crane is probably a best bet. Actually, no. We have got a scout vehicle. Okay. Because this can tow it. It's pretty get it down there, and we should be able to tow it forward a bit, hopefully. There was always that chance we was going to get stuck. We knew that we're using the heavy transporter. That chance was always there. I think it did well to get as far as it did. Once we're past that point, it's all road after that. So that is the only bit that's a bit dodgy, essentially. But yeah, if we can set towing on, so it will use its own engine at the same time, we should be able to move it forward. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Whoa. This thing's got some speed to it when it wants to. Okay. We need to reverse up. Well, probably start here, to be fair. If it will give us the... Yep, there we go. Towing's on. Bear with me a second, I've got to deliver it at the door. Give me 2 seconds. Right, delivery done. It always comes at the wrong time, doesn't it? Right. Can we tow this out? It's trying to. Come on. Gotta give it a chance to try and find its grip, that's the thing. Don't think there's any movement, is there? Because the other option is a crane, which I really don't want to avoid doing if we can. Just because it will take time to get it here. And there's no reversal, is there? No movement at all, I don't think. Just needs a little bit forward, and that will probably be enough, to be fair. Right, let's try. We'll stay connected for a minute. I'm just going to try hitting it, bumping it. I don't want to get myself stuck on at this rate. I think we're going to need a crane to push it out. It's not really possible to tow it by the looks of things. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. That's annoying. I thought we was on there. This may stop us finishing this part of the map today. We've got one more thing we can try, and it may work, it may not. Is if we put it from behind and pull it backwards, there's a chance then we can get it unstuck and go from there. Other than that, I think this crane is the only option we have here, which isn't going to be too bad to bring here because we can use the roads, but some time. Okay. This may work, and I'm not sure whether we have enough oomph to pull it off. We got nothing. There's nothing there. No. Okay. We had to try the winch. You never know. It might have worked. So instead, what we're going to do is pull in a crane to here. What have we got here? Tree cutter. No. We'll pull the crane we were using, the rusty one, to this base, back out. And we're going to drive it straight to where they are now using the road system that we've already got. A lot of faffing around, but I don't see another choice really. Pull that out now. I think the crane's the only option. We knew it was always going to be tricky with the heavy transporter in these muddy areas. I didn't think we'd get stuck there. I thought the first area would have been worse. We got through that without too many problems, to be fair. That second area, trying to avoid the hole, messed us up there. We could have got another bridge layer, maybe, and laid a bridge to make it easier for it. But in hindsight, we should have done that. But I didn't think we'd have a problem. I didn't know that bit was as muddy as what it was. I don't think we've been that way. We've always managed to get around that hole some way, and we did have a bridge there for quite a while. And then we moved it to something else. So I don't think we've really used that route that much, and that's probably why we weren't expecting it, to be fair. Living alone. But we're not too far away. We've just got to quickly follow the road up and then we're there. So we're not losing too much time by doing this. Let's say the aim is to try and hopefully get the second part of this map, Purge, done today. Got about 20 minutes left and one more mission after this one. And it's roughly doing the same thing. That's the thing. So I don't know if we'll get this done today or not. Be nice if we do. There's no rush to do so. It'll just be nice if we do. And then tomorrow we're back in Assassin's Creed Mirage with the DLC that gets released on Tuesday. My expectation is we start Gotham Knights next week. That's my expectation, based on what we've got going on at the minute. And then once Gotham Knights starts, we're going to start thinking about what's next. So then we'll have another vote to see what comes after. Okay, follow this road round to the right, and then we're there. There it is. Just around the corner. Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try and stay on solid ground here as much as we can. I don't know what our reach will be like with this. I'm thinking is just pull it using this. Coming in. Change attach point. We're not quite close enough, are we? Okay. Going a little bit more. There we go. That's what I wanted. Just wanted the attach point to here. Because my thinking is, we just pull this in this way. Mainly the anchors. Try and just solidify ourselves. There we go. And then we pull the crane in. That brings that with us. Okay. Anchors. Because they're reversing here may be tricky. I've got no movement on reversing. Okay. Anchors back on. And we'll go to the left here. Don't tip over, that's my only concern now. Right, I think we're okay. Let's swap vehicle and see if we can. Maybe okay to carry on. Up the hill. I think we are. We're good. We're going again. There we go. Crane coming helped. Now it's all road, all the way. Onto this road first, then past. Wait, hang on. There's a convoy coming. Should wait for them to go past. Last thing we want is them smashing into us as we're trying to drive forward. Right, let's go. And then we need to pull that crane back in a minute because we'll need it to unload this in the wooded area once we get there. That convoy's going to be really slow, isn't it? Come on, convoy. Speed up. I know they say you've got to leave a safe stopping distance. But I think we can't do it. We're too quick for that. Well, that's too slow. I don't know which way we want to see it. Come on, chop chop. It's all over the place. What's going on? Try not to hit it and push it. Not that it matters if it fails because we've already got all the rewards, but having these trucks still do these deliveries does make the world feel more alive as well. That's the thing. Come on, chop chop. A delivery to make. Up you go. There we go. I made it. Okay. We're heading to the right. It's a little bit sandy here, but hopefully we'll be okay. We don't need the crane again. And then we're just getting back on the road and follow it round to our base that we just came from with the crane. Over the bridge, follow the road until we hit the tree line. And that's where this is being delivered. I don't know how close we can get. A lot of this I think is going to be dependent on the crane more than anything else. Which we'll have to drive there as well. Okay, rain again. This map rains a lot. And then base is just coming up. I don't know if we'll get both of these missions done today. Looking at time, I'm just not sure. I can't extend too much. Okay, this is our garage, so now we just need to head to the right and then left, over the bridge. We're getting close. Okay, trying to leave a wider turn as possible to allow the trailer to come round. Trying to learn how to use a trailer properly. Okay, we did clear the area of trees. They did tell us to do that previously, which we did. These are going in the water essentially though, aren't they? That's the thing. And we do need to get a crane across. So obviously we need to leave room for the crane. Let's tree stump that. So we're entirely sure we're best positioning here. More trees that we've got cut down here from when we did this. Okay. It's not liking the train tracks. What are you going to say? You're stuck there, aren't you? Okay, that's not the end of the world. We've got to bring a crane here anyway. We've got to get it to here essentially. So what we'll do, the crane we just used to help us a second ago, pull back to the garage. I don't know why I did that, should have deployed it. There we go. So this can follow it across the bridge. I want this in front of it anyway, so even if we have to pull it forward, we can do so. We'll change the attached mode back. I think it's the actual treatment plant, mobile treatment plant first, generator second, I think. We will need to double check that. I think it will be though. And they're going to be partially in water as well. So we need to get as close as we can to the water's edge really. Okay, here we are. Right, we need to watch out for tree stumps. Okay, I can't get past it that way. Try and do, just give a little nudge over the train track I think. Is that enough? We swap vehicle. But it really doesn't like the train track, does it? Oh, it's catching on the trailer, that's why. Yeah, I got nothing. Okay. Okay. We'll have to pull it forward once we get past it, I think. Just watching out for that stump to get past. There we go. The only thing we don't know how close we need to be to actually get this off, but let's quickly pull this forward. I think we'll need to be a lot closer yet anyway. It may even be we drive with this crane, the crane attached to the vehicle, just to get closer to where we need it to be. There we go. Okay, anchors up. Basically going to drive forward. If we start having issues and tipping, we'll stop. Like that. Okay. Let's unhook. Let's go and see where we need positioning. Obviously this needs to be as close as we can get it just to make our life easy. So down here ideally. Okay, generator's going next to it. Okay, that's where we need to be. I'll bring this up. Okay, let's swap over back to transporter. I'm hoping that's now off enough that we can do what we need to do here. Yeah, we're good. So we want this as close as we can to the crane itself. So the crane's not reaching as far. And that'll be job done. There we go. We'll unstrap, swap back to the crane. Bring this up. And then bring it around. Yeah, generator's going just in front of us, next to this. Which isn't too bad. Which way is the open end? I need to swing this round. I don't need to, it will automatically fix itself, but I like to try and get it in position as much as we should ourselves first. There we go, first one done. Generator next. Obviously generator's further away, but it should be lighter. Should be able to just pull it towards us a bit more, hopefully. Probably come a bit lower, to be fair. Will it swap to it? Not at the minute. May need to drive the heavy transporter forward more for us to be able to get to it. Or maybe not actually, hang on. No, we can get it. There we go. Up it goes and round. As this is just going in front of, just in front of where we are now. There we go, just here. There it goes. That is in position. That is mission complete. Our first part done. There is a second part to this though, and I don't think we're going to finish it today, annoyingly. But let's have a look. Deliver facilities to the river sites. So first and foremost, we've got to pick one up from the area here, which is actually quite near to where we are now. That needs delivering all the way down here. It actually isn't too far, to be fair. It's just from there to down to here. That's not too bad at all. Second one needs picking up from the machine yard. Hang on. Why were the two heavy transporters out? That's ours as well, isn't it? Since when are we two heavy transporters? One might be the rusty version, actually. So yeah, picked up from there and delivered to here. And generator is also going to there as well. Now, we have got the Voron over here, so what we'll do is we'll grab the Voron now and pick up the generator as we're already here and get that close by, ready to use the crane to put it in position, and then we'll see what we can do about the other one. We know how big they are now, so unless they're different, which I don't think they will be, we know we need a fairly decent sized vehicle. We've already got the heavy transporter where it is. I wonder if it's worth getting a crane there just to pick up and put it on the back of that one that's there. And then it'll be a case of just doing the other one from where it is. This is where this gets a bit awkward. It catches on the bottom. There we go. This is still be slightly too big for the vehicle we're using, but we don't need to take this that far. So I think this is worth doing just because our distance isn't very long. If we can get it level, it should be okay on the Vaughan. The Vaughan's quite stable, so it does help. It's going to overhang the sides. We need to make sure it's overhanging evenly. It's a bit of an awkward fit, really. I wonder if it will actually fit in. It is very close to. It is extremely close to being able to fit in. I don't know if it will though. Oh wait, that way. Okay, that's as far over there. No, I want it to need it to be even. That's the problem. And because it's close to fitting in, but slightly too big, just by a little bit, it's not evenly distributed over the back. Although once it's strapped, it won't matter so much. Just if it's tipping, there's a chance it'll tip us fairly easily. Try this again. Getting the crane there, which is a little bit annoying. Spin round, there we go. Right, down. Instead of messing around a bit. There you go, it's strapped, it's on. Won't be the easiest thing to drive, but it's on. It's basically just ever so slightly too big for the bed. And that's the problem. Right, we are rapidly running out of time. We need to drive this straight down here and leave it there ready for the crane to put in position. That's all we need to do. So let's do that, and then that may be us out of time for today, as long as we don't tip this thing over on the way. It's a bit of a rough journey this way, but it's the quickest way there. Right, the track goes to the right. I don't think we've really been this way before, track wise. Yeah. Weight wise it's absolutely fine, it's just very top heavy, but the actual weight itself isn't too bad. The tree's just short of being in the way there, and now if we tip we can try and save ourselves with a crane, but hopefully we can avoid that, although that tree is actually in the way. Not going to let us pass. Okay, we may have made a mistake trying to do this. Unless we can get past that tree. And then round to our left. I just thought this would be easier, just because we already had this vehicle there. But I think I may have been wrong. Come on. Go to the right and then go to the left here. There's a slope the other side, which is what we're trying to avoid. So we're backing ourselves here. Okay, past the tree. Whoa. Okay, tree dealt with. Not worried about the conditions of the road. The conditions of the road won't affect the mule. The mule will get through it. It's just tipping I'm more concerned about. Hang on. Where's this road go from here? Left is into the trees. We are meant to be able to go straight here, although it is very rocky. Okay, this might be a massive error of judgment. We'll see. Yeah, I think it might have been an error of judgment. Don't tip. That's what I was trying to avoid doing. We haven't stalled the engine though. Well, we might do in a minute. Come on. Just need the wheels to... If the wheels grip, we can move forward and we'll be okay. If I move the crane, we're going to lose it. I think we've lost it. We can get the big crane here to pull us up. It's not the end of the world. It's just annoying. There we go. Oh, hang on. It's still going. We had stalled for a minute, but and then didn't let us carry on because it rolled down. So if we can get up the slope. I'll turn all-wheel drive off. That may have worked. Falling down the slope there kind of saved us a little bit there. Although I don't know if we can get back up. Hasn't got the power to get up the slope, I don't think, with the weight. No, even on low gear, we're close. It just doesn't quite have the power to get up. Okay, I think that's a good place to stop. Obviously, we'll need to save this. They can't fall anymore. We can bring the crane in though, to be fair, and just pull it up and it'll be fine. But that's what we've got left to do. So the generator needs to come to here. We'll rescue it with the crane that's already here. Then we need to bring the mobile treatment plant from there to this one over to the metal beam facility, and then we need to grab the one that's over here from the machine yard and deliver that exactly where the generator is going. And then I think that's Deluge part done by the looks of things. I think that's a good place to end though, to be fair, as we are out of time. We started the day on 68%. We've done quite a few missions. And as I say, I think this is the final part of Deluge. Is it Deluge? Is it like the right one? I can't remember now. Well, I'll have a look in a second. I may be wrong with Deluge, to be fair. Purge. Purge is what I'm thinking of. Which is the middle part. 78% complete. I was hoping, I did say at the start of the stream, ending today with 25% left, like 75% done, would be a good way of being, and I think we're there at 78%. So yeah, one last bit to do on Purge, which is the mission we've got on the board now. 18 of 23 infrastructure missions done, 29 of 39 main objectives. So once we complete the one we're doing, that will leave 9 objectives, and then side objectives 19 of 22. So we are nearly done with the first map in the DLC, Contamination. Then after that, we're on Washout, which I'm not quite looking forward to. Water and me tend to have some issues. But unfortunately, that is all the time we have for today. And this is obviously the last show of RoadCraft this week, because we're back tomorrow morning for Assassin's Creed Mirage's DLC, Valley of Memory. But RoadCraft will be back next week. Keep an eye on our schedule. It comes out on Sunday, 1 PM GMT for the scheduled video, and 8 PM GMT for the scheduled live streams community post, which will tell you all the live stream times and dates for next week. That's on Sunday. But a mass thank you for today. Thank you for the likes, the comments, the views, and conversation. As I say, we're back tomorrow. Assassin's Creed Mirage's DLC, Valley of Memory, and RoadCraft will be back next week. Thank you all for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you in a live stream very soon. Thanks all for watching. Bye bye.